It's Saturday night. You know what time it is. It's Divine Sense Boxing in the building, Firestorm Volume 3. And we got a good one for you guys lined up tonight. We got a lot to talk about, and we got a special guest as well, an honored guest at that. So you guys see the title of the live stream, man. We got, well, first off, we're probably going to talk about Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder because why not? That's what we do out here. We're going to talk a little bit about Joshua and Usyk as well because that fight is just right around the corner. And we may touch a little bit on Sean Porter and Crawford. That's going to be a mega fight coming up in November. And if we get some Canelo fans and some Plant fans in here, maybe we talk about that too. Nonetheless, I do want to go ahead and bring in the guest of the evening. You guys know I've announced it on my social medias. We got a lot of hype about it. So that's a good thing. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in the man, the myth, and the legend, Mr. Tay Jones. What's good, Tay?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Good.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, how you feeling, man? You finally got some sleep?
Yeah, I finally went to sleep, man. I was so tired. I'm still a little bit tired right now, but I've been, betting all day, looking at my football games and stuff like that. So I'm
Yes,
good to
sir.
go now.
What team you repping out there?
With me being a betting man, I don't have a team. I just like to go
Mm,
what I like my lines at. But I was
okay.
impressed with a couple teams today as well, though.
All right. Well, I got to ask you then because I'm from the Phoenix area, so I'm a Cardinals fan. So who you got, Cardinals or Vikings?
Woo! I'm roll with the Cardinals tomorrow.
Okay, good man.
Yes,
Good
sir.
man. you like you, you like how they look against Tennessee?
Oh man, I was thoroughly impressed to even go to Tennessee and did what they did. That was magnificent. I mean, to go in somebody else's backyard, that's hard to do in the NFL.
Right? And
It's very
everybody
hard.
was talking, man. Everybody was talking about Tennessee. They might win the AFC. They're
Right,
a threat to the Chiefs and this and that. And I just think that, well, I mean, Kyler just played out of his mind,
right.
and
He
then
did.
um, and then Chandler Jones 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. That's
Yeah.
a problem. If you don't stop Chandler Jones, you got a problem, man. So,
Right. Right.
but yeah, man, I'm glad football season is back. It's another alleyway to go down to kind of relax and watch
Yeah.
some football with
Right.
friends and family. I'm overseas, so I got the NFL Game Pass, man. So I don't get to see it a lot of times until like early Monday morning,
Oh,
like
really?
yeah, like 5, 6 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Um, but yeah, I mean it's good though, man. I wake up early, I get my coffee, Monday morning, and get the week started off on
Right.
the right foot.
Right.
But yeah, man, let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about you a bit, and then of course you're on the panel. We may have another person or two jump in a little
Okay.
bit later,
For sure.
and yeah, and just want to talk about you, and then we'll probably switch gears, and I'll ask you a little bit about Deontay, Tyson Fury, your thoughts and stuff like that.
Okay.
And obviously, you have your own channel. You talk
Right.
about this quite often,
Yes, sir.
and I would imagine that most of my supporters probably support you as well because we're all interconnected. Me, you, Drew,
Right.
Stormy B, and all these guys. But lately, I've been getting a lot of fans from other areas too. So you're probably speaking to a lot of new people tonight on the panel, which is good for you because
Yes, sir.
I want you to build your brand. I want you to get your name out there and let the people know, how you get down and your
Right.
boxing journey and all that.
Right.
So first and foremost, so where do you come from originally, and how did you get into boxing?
I'm born in Miami. I'm born in Miami, Florida, but I'm raised in Atlanta. I moved to Miami. My mom moved me away when I was like maybe 4 months, somewhere along in there. So Atlanta is all I know. Growing up here in College Park, um, like I said before, and growing up here, it's been tough, but it has, everybody have challenging times in their life, things of that nature. So it's nothing new, but it's all about how you overcome them. I played college football. So growing up, my stepdad, but I call him my father because that's the only dad that I know. Although that's the only dad that I call my dad. I don't call my biological father my father. But he was a third degree black belt martial artist. I actually started off doing karate. I was doing karate at the age, I want to say I was 6, 7 years old, somewhere along there, and I probably
Nice.
stopped when I was like 8 or 9. I couldn't deal with nobody kicking me, and that ended real ugly. Oh man, that's a long story behind that too. But
Mm,
from that point, I used to watch a lot of Roy Jones and Evander Holyfield. Actually, Evander Holyfield is definitely friend of the family with my family. His oldest son, Evander Jr., he and I played together, and then Ewan Holyfield, which is he's sort of along the middle. He played with my one of my younger brothers, and then my dad also coached two of his sons. So we was always around. We'll go to the mansion here, and things of that nature when we was younger. So um, that was a big. He was a part of my influence, and of course Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was a part of my influence because, like I say, my dad was in martial arts, and we used to watch. UFC. Back then, I don't think it was called UFC. It was called cage fighting or something like that.
Mm.
Used to watch a lot of Royce Gracie. He was another influence on me. Um, but I used to watch those guys, and then of course it's a whole different story the way I stopped doing karate. But after that, I started boxing. We just found something more profound for me without kicking, and I had like maybe like 5 amateur fights before I was 13, and that was it. And by the time I turned 13, because I played almost every sport there was. I was a swimmer, I was a track runner, baseball, football, basketball, soccer. I even tried to play lacrosse one time just to see what it was about. And and then one
Yeah.
time they had like my very first time I went ice skating, I was like 12 years old. I wanted to play
Mm.
hockey. I thought I could skate. I was watching Mighty Ducks and everything. So I was always
Yeah.
into sports. So but by that time, like I said before, getting into boxing, I wasn't taking it serious. Of course, I went to college to play college football, and I wanted to be like my oldest brother. My oldest brother played in the NFL like 13, 14 years. And
Mm.
of course that didn't work out. So I tried to fall back on something. I was going through a rough patch in my life, trying to find myself. My grandmother, she was really was my grandmother, but she was the only grandmother that I had I could call grandmother. Like they gave me that grandmother love, and
Mm.
she passed away. And the only thing she wanted me to do was graduate college, but she passed
Wow.
away my last year of college. So I went down. I was went through another storm, and I couldn't find myself, and I was just simply just playing the guy like I know it's something that I can do. I know it's something that I'm good at. I can be great at. Just show me the way, because right now, my last year in college, she passing away. I can't afford to get kicked out of school again. I got kicked out of college twice, and
Mm.
I fell asleep praying. And tell you the truth, man, I was like 205. I was weighing like 205. I was husky.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
Wow.
husky, and all the fat that I accumulated came from muscle memory from football. And
Mm.
so I woke up, and and it felt like I was dreaming, because I woke up, I Googled boxing gym. I don't know what made me Google boxing gym, but I Googled boxing gym, and I never left. And that's how
Mm.
that's where I'm at now.
Yeah, it's a similar path kind of to Sean Porter, right? Basketball, or sorry, a football background, and then goes into boxing. That's actually very interesting, man. Because your last fight, what were you like? Was it 140?
My last fight was at 140 years.
Yeah, so 215 to 140. That's crazy.
Well, see, the thing is, I tell a lot of my guys that a lot of my teammates that I went to school with, it's like, once you finish playing football, there's no reason to keep that weight on, because you think
Mm.
about it, muscle is just going to turn into fat. So there's no
Mm.
reason to keep that weight on. I see a lot of my guys now, that was offensive linemen, 360, 350. They're like 220 now. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And then a lot of guys who were small, they're big. And I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Man, I don't got a ton of work. I was like, nah, man, it's not even about just working out. It's about just being healthy.
Right.
And I'm an exercise science K through 12 and kinesiology major. So that's something that
Nice.
I brag about, just the health. And
Hmm.
so, and what made me lose weight, truthfully, what made me lose weight besides getting to boxing was Deontay. I sparred Deontay, and I was like, you know what?
I
Man,
ain't a heavyweight.
no, I'm not a heavyweight. And it made me, and it was crazy because I was sparring heavyweights. I was sparring heavyweights and I was sparring cruiserweights. But when I got hit by him for the first time, shit, no. I knew right then that's not for me.
Mm. And yeah, man, for real. And it's actually very interesting your story because I would say that my path to where I'm at now is literally the opposite of yours. Whereas my dad threw me in a boxing gym when I was young, like 8, 9, 10 years old.
Right.
And I grew up for a while near the border of Mexico and Arizona, so I was out there sparring Mexicans. So you know how
Mhm.
they get down.
Yeah,
They
they
just
rugged.
they rugged and rough
Yeah,
and I was never I'm not built that way. So I had to learn very quickly how to move. And
right.
they don't like that. They don't like that. They don't like a dude who move around.
No,
And
they don't.
so for me, I grew up in that way. I didn't know why I did it. My dad was a huge boxing fan growing up, and He's like, you got to learn how to box because you got to protect yourself out here. I was
Right.
like, oh, all right, you know what I mean? And so I did it up until maybe about 12 or 13. And then I just kind of like, just kind of grew out of it. You know what I mean? I just like, it got to a point where I'm glad I have the foundation, but for me, I don't like being punched in the face very often, and I don't like really hurting people either. And I mean, I can do it if I have to do it, but I just didn't, have it. And that's that thing about boxers that I respect so much
Mm-hmm.
is you got to have that dog in you. You can be
Yeah.
a nice person on the outside and be a gentleman and conduct yourself in society as a good person, but you got to have that dog in you, man. And sometimes when you in that ring, man, it's nobody helps you.
Nobody.
You're in there by yourself, and
Yeah.
that's the huge distinction between an individual sport and like a team sport, where
Right.
you got teammates who can back you up. You know,
Right.
and so I played basketball, and I played at a decent level. And then I was just too small, and then I ended up playing professional soccer overseas, and that's how I
Okay.
kind of I was in the military. I got out, and then I continued playing soccer around Southeast Asia professionally, and I just recently stopped playing about 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
And it's just a part of that journey, right? Just figuring out where you match up in. What are you the best at?
Right.
And for you, it was the opposite. You did football, you did all these other sports, and then you discovered boxing. And you're like, damn, I'm pretty good at this.
Right.
And so it's interesting, and I'm sure you do it too when you talk to people,
Mm-hmm.
is try to encourage people. Never stop your journey because you never know what's going to happen.
True.
And for me, when I was doing boxing and a little bit of karate and stuff like that as well, and you mentioned the kicks, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Uh, is at the time I thought, I almost gave up on everything because it takes a lot out of you. My dad would take me to the boxing gym every Tuesday, Thursday, and then Saturdays, you spar and stuff
Right.
like that.
Right.
And you can get burned out if you don't love it. You can
Yes.
get burned out. And I almost was just like, man, I don't even want to do this anymore. Like I just want to sit at home and play video games or just not do anything. But my dad was like, well, if you don't want to box, then you got to find something else. We ain't
Right.
sitting around.
Right.
And I have a lot of disagreements with my dad, but one thing that I will give him credit for is he made sure that I laid some type of path. And all I know is athletics. That's all I know. Like I can't really do anything else. I've tried different things,
Right.
and it's just not a stimulation for me.
Yeah.
And
That's it.
and I'm a strength and conditioning coach as well, and it's what I do for a living now.
That's it.
And I can't do anything else. So that's why I like to talk to people like yourself, because two like-minded individuals who understand the grind, the discipline that it takes to be anywhere near successful. Um,
Right.
so just real quickly on the karate thing, it's funny because you mentioned that I was very very similar. You probably feel the same. When I was in karate, all I wanted to do was punch because I'm like, man, my hands are fast. I ain't trying to kick nobody, and if I kick somebody, they're gonna kick me back.
Right.
So I ain't trying I ain't trying to kick nobody. And I remember the first time, man, I was like maybe 12, and this kid, man, kicked me right in the ribs,
Right.
really hard, and it was different than a punch. It's like you get that shin bone just come cracking into your ribs, like bone on bone.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
and I'm just like, whoa, like this is something that I'm not privy to. And for me, it was a bit of a shocker, and I just realized that it's all about the hands. It's something about like two men standing up, and just throwing hands.
Right.
And that was always intriguing to me. And so yeah, you also uh, mentioned Evander,
Mm-hmm.
and I just want to throw this out there. I've spoken about this a little bit to my followers on this channel. Is Evander's a very, very interesting individual, and I would say that was probably my dad's favorite fighter. My dad is a very strong Christian man, and Evander
Mm-hmm.
always talked about being a Christian and believing in
Right.
God, and
That's why I called
that
himself
was
the warrior.
yeah. And
Yeah.
my dad was like, during the whole Mike Tyson Evander whole thing. My dad was crazy during that time, like rooting for Evander to make sure he got Mike Tyson out of there. And he would make me watch Evander fights. He's like, watch Evander. Look what he does. Look what he does. And I'm always thinking, I was always a small kid growing up. So I'm like looking at this big giant, Evander was just always like this big superhero to me, all,
Yeah.
in his prime, right? This big muscular dude, big neck, big
Right.
traps,
Right.
just big. And I'm like, man, I don't know if I can ever be like that, But he was on Mike Tyson's podcast not too long ago. I don't know if you know, it's called Hot Boxing with Mike, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Evander was on there, and I want you to touch on this. It's something that Evander said, and then I want you to kind of give your thoughts about it because I feel like it's important. He was telling a story to Mike about how when he first started,
Mm-hmm.
and his mom was kind of like, well, I don't want you to fight. I don't want you to fight. And he was kind of doing it. And then the coach that he was working with basically told his mom, like, hey, your son's pretty good. So then his
Right.
mom switched gears and was like, okay, well, if you're going to do it, then I want to make sure you go to church and then you can box. But,
Right.
if you're going to do it, you can stick with it.
Right.
And he's telling this story how when he was young, he just started knocking dudes out.
Mm-hmm.
And they called him like the one hitter quitter.
Right.
When he was young, he would just get in the ring, just knock kids out.
Right.
And then he started going to tournaments, started winning a bunch of tournaments. And he was telling a story on how anytime he would get up there against a white dude, he would just always knock him out. He's like, that's like a guaranteed victory, right?
Right.
And he's telling this story about every time he get into a white guy, he would win. And then he said one day he went to a tournament. He was like 14, 15 years old. And there was a lot of people talking about this one particular white kid that was like really good. And so they were telling him, Evander, you got to be careful of this guy. Man, I was like, man, it's all good. All I do is just knock dudes out, especially these white boys out here. And then so he fights this guy. And he said that as soon as the bell rang, they went out there and that kid just punched him right in the face. It was the hardest. He said he's the hardest ever been hit. And he said he ended up losing that fight. And he's telling this story how he almost quit. And he just couldn't live with himself and how he had to, talk to his coach and all this different stuff and his mom. And he goes back in there to a tournament soon after that, faces off against the same kid again, loses again to the same kid. And he's like this journey when he was a kid until the point it took him like 3 years to finally beat this one white kid. And he said the moral of the story was at the end of the day, he learned that a man is a man and you never underestimate anybody.
Any man.
And I felt that was very interesting, and, sometimes we get caught up in the whole kind of like political turmoil of boxing. And sometimes it's race driven and, you got to pick this side, that side or whatever. But for me, it's always been about boxing, and I learned at a young age, sparring with a lot of Mexican dudes that it doesn't matter, man. If somebody wants to hurt you bad enough
They will.
and you ain't prepared, they will hurt you.
Yeah, for sure.
And people bring stuff into boxing that you don't know. They bring in animosity. They bring anger. They bring passion. Maybe they've been bullied their whole life. You don't know. And they're just in there to make themselves recognized and make themselves, it's like a therapy for them.
Right.
So what would you have to say about that? And I think it kind of segues nicely because of the Deontay Wilder Fury situation. And I know personally on my page, when I talk about Wilder and how Wilder's going to win the fight and this and that, I always talk boxing. Like I don't, all of this like division and this side, that side. I don't got no time for that. At the end of the day, Deontay Wilder's better and he's going to knock him out. It's simple as that.
Right.
And so people, Fury fans who usually, not always, but usually are from the UK and, and probably, white dudes from the UK. And they come to my channel talking about, oh, you're a self-hating white man and you don't support your own and this and that. And there's there's like this division. And so you have this small little area where you have true boxing fans, which is probably most of the people that are tuning in right now. True boxing fans. They don't care about all that, but somehow they get sucked into it. So what's your thoughts about it? If you can give any thoughts.
Well, going back to the Holyfield thing, he is exactly right. You can't underestimate anybody. I mean, no matter what their record is, no matter if they're supposed to be superior, elite, world class, it doesn't matter. You can't underestimate anybody, you know. And just as well as you underestimate anybody, you can get seriously hurt. You know what I
Mm,
mean? I've definitely underestimated people, especially in sparring because I haven't had many fights, but that also groomed me to become better and know better that you can't take nobody lightly. Every time I
mm,
train, I take it as if I'm fighting Floyd, and I just see how hard he worked, and it's just like I can't let him outwork me. Even when I see
right,
Deontay work, it's like fuck that. I can't let him outwork me either. You know what I mean? So I just have that you got to be self driven. Got to be self driven, and like I said before, you can't underestimate anybody, no matter the race, the height, the size, the weight, the age. You can't underestimate anybody. And the day that
right.
you do, as you can just come in the ring and do what it is that you think you're gonna do, you can be told it's absolutely totally wrong, and it could be
Mm,
something happen to you. So that perspective of it, definitely, you can't underestimate anybody. And then at the same time, when the second part of the question, I don't understand the division. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. But there are some people who have miserable lives, and they can
right.
just sit behind the computer all day. No matter if you're doing good or bad, they're gonna have something to say.
Mm,
And that's how I totally feel. Especially when it comes to this whole Fury thing. It's just like it's like a whole division, but you can like recently Fury comes out and finally say, yeah, I wasn't really gonna fight, Anthony Joshua, but then his fans would say, well, we knew he wasn't gonna fight him. We just wanted to say, well, what? Like, how do you keep up with somebody who's so tarnished and who's so negative and not even self driven? And it's like, what does that make you? You see what I'm saying?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's quite interesting too. We got a couple other guests that just jumped in backstage. I'm going to bring you guys in here just a moment. I just want to finalize this point. It's interesting. I'm glad you say that, Tay, because there's something very beautifully unique about boxing.
Hmm.
Is when you walk all the gyms I've ever been to, young, old, and I still to this day every once in a while pop in and hit a bag and do some mitt work and stuff just to stay sharp.
Right.
And when you get to that door and you step in, you leave all that ego and all that BS at the door.
Right.
Whatever you feeling, you leave it at the door. And every gym that I've ever stepped into, that's that feeling. And you get in there and there are people from different backgrounds, color, races, creeds, hitting the
Hmm.
bags, doing the mitts, doing sparring, and none of that matters.
Right.
We're all men, or if there's women in there boxing, it's women. And we're
Right.
doing our thing.
Right.
And that's the great thing. It's like a sanctuary,
It
literally.
is. It is.
Yeah. And
especially
I noticed,
especially for me because like I go through, I'm human, so I still go through things. I still have emotions. I'm
mm,
not perfect, so whenever I need to get something off my mind, that's like, some people revert to, drug narcotics and stuff like that, but that's not my speed. I know who I am, so I revert back to the gym. So I go in the gym, if even though I know those problems still going to exist, but for the time being, I don't have to worry about that. I'm free.
right, exactly. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. And it for me, one thing, sometimes I get motivated to go to the gym just to be a part of that sanctuary because in society, you get worn down of the drama and the
Right.
turmoil and all the negativity. You go
Hmm.
into a boxing ring, and as soon as you start wrapping your hands, you're like, yeah, I'm good. You start feeling loose.
Right.
And I saw the picture you posted on your IG of of a bunch of guys in the ringside. I guess it's at some gym, some training camp that you're doing, and you just look at the faces, right?
Hmm.
Black, white, Latino, whatever,
Oh, you talking
and
about the picture from camp the other day?
yeah, yeah, from camp.
Yeah.
Deontay was in there, you were in it, and a bunch
Yeah.
of other boxers and trainers. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful picture, man, and that's
Right.
what really makes me feel so I get some type of gratification that this is the sport that I love, and it's why I continue to support it. So
Right.
yeah, I appreciate that. So let me
Yes,
go ahead
sir.
and bring in the other two guests. We've got Cano Loco Sports.
Hey, what's up,
¿Qué
man?
pasó?
Hey, what's
All
up, man? You know I had to come through, Tay, man, when
Yeah.
you posted that link, and I'm glad you posted that link because Divine Sense, I knew you existed. I seen you on Drew Titan's show, but I never had the link, and can't spell that well. So when he put that link on there, I'm finally subscribed to you now. Okay.
Yes,
I
indeed.
appreciate you.
It had
I
Tay
appreciate
Jones
you,
not
bro.
posted that, I wouldn't have known where to find you, man. But
Yeah,
I also like to say congratulations, Tay Jones, even though I already texted you, man.
man.
We
Thank you.
don't know where the mouthpiece landed at yet. It is still, there's still a APV out for it. So, but hey, shout out to you, bro.
Yes, sir, man. I thank you. I appreciate that, man.
And we also got I Am Trail Will. He wants to jump
Hey,
in
Man.
the conversation.
Y'all know when the family on, y'all know the boy got to come through, slide through one time, man. I've been
Yes,
wanting to
sir.
chop it up with you anyway, Divine Sense. What's good with salute to you, King?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah,
What's
yeah.
up
We
with it,
good,
Tay?
man.
what's going
Yeah.
on, man?
Me and Tay got an ongoing debate of who's taller, me or him, and we done met on a few occasions, so
Yeah,
we still got
I'm
an
taller.
ongoing debate.
I'm taller, man.
He's not taller.
Uh-oh.
I'm just gonna let y'all know
I'm
that.
definitely taller.
Y'all feel free to put in on the bet. We got a bet going too. We got
Yeah.
an ongoing bet of who's taller. So next time I see Tay, hopefully, hey Tay, you going to the Shakur Stevenson fight in October?
I will be down here.
I'll be there. I'll
Yes,
be
sir.
there. So at the Shakur Stevenson fight, Shakur Stevenson versus Jamil Herring, you will see live. I'll go live on my page, and y'all can see for yourself who taller. Me or Tay Jones. We gonna be there. We gonna be in the building. Just so y'all know that. What's up, Cano? What's good with it, bro?
Hey, Will, just don't come with them pants, one.
Oh no.
And two,
I gave them pants to my
make
wife.
sure you don't get no extra heels on them shoes, you know.
No, I'm wearing J's, bro. I'm wearing my J's. I'm wearing J's. I'm coming in J's. So no, it won't be no question. Won't nobody be able to say, well, Will had on some Timberland boots. They gave him maybe a half an inch on it. No. We doing this by the book, man. I even take my shoes off so y'all can see. I'll take my shoes off out there.
Oh man.
We're gonna make it happen. God dog. This debate been going on too long, Tay. We gotta fix this shit. What's good with it, though, fellas? I was enjoying the boxing conversation y'all was having, man. And shout out again to Tay Jones. And I just want to say that mouthpiece landed on my front porch. I got it in my safe. My dog was out there playing with it, so I got it. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, man.
Will, keep that mouthpiece away from that young man. He does not need to go in there again.
Hell no. he probably still trying to gather his medulla oblongata. That's something gonna go on, cuz Tay hit the reset button on it. You see how his body shut down when Tay hit him with that overhand right, and he set it up so beautifully with that jab. It was a jab to the body, overhand right combo, and he didn't even see it coming. Did y'all see the other angle from that knockout? Oh my God, that makes it look even worse.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something about Tay Jones, Divine Sense, if you don't mind. I mean, I was listening to like the last couple of minutes. I came in a little late, man. But one thing I can tell you about Tay Jones that I really love about him is he knows how to deal with these trolls and these haters and these negative speaking people in such a way that I'm taking notes from him because I don't have the patience he does. And I'm way much older than him. So, hey, Tay, shout out to you for that, the way you handled him.
Yes, sir.
And I'm learning from that, bro. I really am trying to take notes from that, man, because you deal with it perfectly, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that, man. I had to learn it myself, and like I said before, I was truly all new to it when everything first broke. Even though I knew it was gonna break, I didn't know how I was gonna deal with it. But over time, I learned how to just deal with certain people, and talk to them. And I believe in you don't have to talk to anybody crazy just to get your point across, but they'll come at you crazy and I just change the tune. But if they continue talking crazy, I mean, I'm not gonna waste my time, so I just block them and just keep going about my day. So it's not like I'm ever gonna see you.
Tay got me earlier though. I'm just gonna let y'all know that he got me earlier. He got me earlier. He got me in line earlier, man. But I explained to him why I acted out, cause it's one thing to insult me or say something about me and troll me. I'm cool with that. I got pretty thick skin. I'm a Marine. I got thick skin. I can take criticism. It doesn't bother me at all. But when you go in on my personal IG page and steal pictures of my minor daughter and you try to shame my daughter, that's when I have an issue.
Right.
And that's the only reason why I say something to certain trolls. I would say something to, because if I ever in life seen them in person, I would crack them for everything they were. That's one thing I don't do. I don't play with nobody's family. I don't mess with your kids. If it's something that's I got between me and you, that's gonna stay between me and you. I don't bring involve nobody else's children because I don't want nobody saying nothing about my kids.
Right.
But the particular troll in person said something in question, said something about my daughter. So and he was participating in the trolls, gathering pictures of my daughter and saying disingenuous things about my child. And I will go to hell and back for my kids. And everybody who knows me personally knows I will. I will.
Right.
I'll move heaven and earth for my children. So,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, respect. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I've been around this YouTube shit for a long time, way back in the day, like 2009, 2010. And as a matter of fact, like I remember when 78 Sports TV was just getting started. That's
Right.
how long I've been around.
Oh wow.
And so I've been involved in an immense amount of beefs and different things like that with other YouTube channels out here. And yeah, I had a particular channel, a particular gentleman out here did the same thing to me with my daughter. We were going back and forth, and I guess he tried to get the upper hand and started going after my daughter, man. And that's sad. It's really, really sad. To where, you know, I'm the type of person where it's like it gets to a certain point where, okay, it's no longer a boxing discussion. Now it's getting personal. So we can just meet up and just knuckle up at the, like, you know, whatever. Just get on a bus and like, all right, we're local boxing gym. Let's go. And because one thing that I always learned and understood was once you get those gloves on and you start punching, all that goes out the window. And 9 times out of 10, everybody involved they get humbled real quick, win or lose.
Right.
Win or lose.
Ain't
And
no
when
more
people
topic.
don't have
They won't
when
show
they don't
up.
have the courage to show up and they beat around the bush and continue to troll, then that's when you just say, all right, block, delete, you know, take legal action if you have to, and do all those things. Last thing a man wants to do is get the police involved. You know, that's the last thing a man should want to do.
Right.
But sometimes it goes down to that. And, you know, but at the end of the day, people show their true colors, right? And it's really unfortunate when you have content creators acting that way.
Yeah.
You know, content creators, you know, acting that way. It's one thing if they just have a little profile and they're just bouncing around, you know, talking shit. But actual content creators, and you call them out and they try to beat around the bush. That's what's really sad.
You know what, Divine? I'm sorry for cutting you off, but one
sir.
thing I've noticed is that most of these people who troll aren't boxing fans. They're just here for attention. And it's sad because they're looking for attention from men. You know what I'm saying? You're going to seek out grown men to have the get on their nerves every day, to just go in their chat rooms, disrupt the chat, disrupt the energy of the room, and just to come in there just to get attention to yourself. And it's sad, honestly. I mean, because I see it, and I've been with the LDBC a little over 4 years. But I've been a content creator about 2. This is my second page. My first one got banned because of some perverted trolls, but YouTube doesn't hold anybody accountable. But you know, that's neither here or there. But at the end of the day, I understand the mind of a troll. The mind of a troll is they can say anything they want behind the safety of a computer because they don't face real life complications or repercussions, but the world is a very small place. So that's the reason why I deal with some trolls. Like I had racist trolls come out, call me out by name, call me racial slurs and whatever. And what I do is I'll give them. I did a segment on my show where I played some banjo music and I started talking because I'm from Georgia and I know how rednecks talk down here. I'm from the country. I know how to. I'll get up here. Hey, boy. Hey, I tell you what. Come over here and you talk to me and Sharon Jean over here and Trailer over here, boy. You come over here. Yeah. And I'll talk to them just like that because not only am I entertaining the people in my chat, also I'm insulting the one who thought that using that word that they thought that had power, I took power away from that word. So I then turned that power into comedy and let people see the ignorance in the person saying the comment and showing them that, hey, I'm not only am I smarter than you, but I'm able to use your hate and turn it into something good and make people laugh and chill out. And that's a wonderful and powerful thing about the internet as well. It's a blessing and a curse because you have on one side, you got people out here who ain't got nothing else better to do but to come out here bothering good people. and then you have the good people out here who are actually outlet to some people who are dealing with certain issues. I've had people hit me up behind the scenes and tell me, man, the show that you did this particular day, I was going through so much, and this just made me realize that I can make it, I can do this, I can do that, because you said something particular that I needed to hear. And that gives me the drive to make me want to continue to do content, especially under the brand of the LDBC, because the LDBC stands for family. I mean, I done met up with a lot of content creators in the LDBC, Junior the Truth, the Supreme Beast Boxing Talk, KG, and Cadillac Red. Just so recently, I just came back from Texas. I went to Texas and met with Jay Good, with Stay Ready. Me and my brother Joe Townsend went down there. We all had a ball down there. G5, all of us, we had a ball. And that's what the LDBC. And shout out to Big Dog Willie. And you have my condolences, bro. I'm here if you need me. You already know where I'm at. I'm here anytime you need me. Reach out to me. You got my Instagram, bro. Hit me up. You need my number. Hit me up on Instagram. I'll shoot you my number. If you ain't already got it, I'm here, dog. I'm here.
Same here, Big Dog Willie. Same here.
Because we're family. That's one thing that they hate. They hate that we are a family. We are a family of all creeds, colors, and wherever you come from, we're all family. As long as you can stand on your square and be honest with yourself and keep it a buck every time, you're good. You're cool.
Yeah. And, you mentioned that you were a Marine. I think that's deeply rooted in you, that whole concept of team and family. And that, I was in the Navy, and I was on a forward deployed aircraft carrier. Yes, sir. Thank you. And, I served with a lot of Marines, obviously, Marines being a department of the Navy. So, you meet some Marines every once in a while. And that's something that, will never leave me, that whole idea. And I was talking to Tay earlier, and, he was mentioning that he was from Miami and then grew up in Atlanta. One of the first guys, I'm from Phoenix, right? I grew up near the border of Arizona and Mexico. So a whole different world out there. And so when I joined the Navy, it put me into contact with so many different people around the United States. And it was an amazing thing because one of my bunkmates in the Navy was from Atlanta. And so we would be chilling, whatever, we'd be talking. He would ask me about, what's Phoenix like? I heard this, I heard that. I'm like, yeah, what's Atlanta like? And we learning about each other. And one day we got into a debate, kids do. I joined when I was 18. I was a kid.
Me too.
And so we get into a debate on which city's hardest. And so we going back and forth. And he's like, you don't know nothing about Atlanta, and let me tell you about Atlanta. And, so he's telling me, and eventually we would have these heated arguments. And then we were both stationed in Japan. We go out in the city in Tokyo and have a grand time, and that's something that if I had to pick one thing out of the hat that I got out of the military was that, and that's why I don't. Oh, really?
Yeah, I was at Okinawa. I was at Camp Foster.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I never went down that far south, but yeah, it just and it brings me back to a story just real quickly where we all went out as a big group during New Year's in Tokyo, and there was some strange beef because I don't know if you guys know, but in Tokyo there's actually a lot of Nigerians there, and so the Nigerians, they're a part of they're bouncers at clubs, but they be doing some underground stuff, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they work in the doors of the clubs in Tokyo, and there was a lot of beef between them and the black sailors and Marines that the Americans who come through there, and I never really understood it because I'm just a white dude just floating around doing my thing. And then one day during New Year's, one of my boys, he was from New York, this black dude from New York. He was like, yo, we got this beef over here with these Nigerians. You ready to fight? I'm like, what? He's like, oh yeah, this has been going on for a while. Like it's time to get down. I'm like, what? We're in Tokyo, man. It's New Year's. What are you talking about? And these Nigerians just rushed through this club, like 5 or 6 of them, and just like big brawl broke out. And I'm just swinging. I'm just swinging at whatever you can. And you know what's going on. And the police out there in Japan, they're not like in the States. They're not armed, right?
Nope.
So because violence out there is not a thing. So they come in with like billy clubs and batons. They just start cracking people. They don't even care who they hit. They just start smashing heads. But that was a moment where I was like, wow, like we're brothers. We're all sitting in jail, worried about when we get back to the ship, what's going to happen. We're like, man, we're going to get court-martialed. We're going to get this, that, whatever. But I realized at that moment, like, wow, we're all for real, like brothers here. Like we all had each other's back. We protected each other. And no matter what happens, we fight together. We go down together,
Right.
And that's a beautiful moment. So now coming back into civilian life, and I'm sure you feel this too, Trill Will, when you come back into civilian life, you get that harsh reminder that it's much different out here, and you got to make those adjustments. And it took me a while. It took me a long while, as a matter of fact. But look, I'm glad you guys are made it back in the channel. Looks like Cano Loco dropped out, but he's back in.
And I lost my audio.
Yeah. But I appreciate you guys joining the panel. This is what it's all about. If you guys don't know, every Saturday night, this is what I do. I call this segment Firestorm. And on Firestorm, I allow people to join the panel, and we just hash it out and talk about whatever pops up. And before I jump into the next topic, I do want to give a shout out to Dirty Shivo real quick with the super chat. He says, I was in the service with the troll. He would lie about stuff that would really mess up someone one day. Prick. I saw him get confronted once and he froze. Laugh out loud. Oh, we see that all the time, don't we?
Oh, yes.
Oh, we see that all the time.
We call them one-uppers. Like every time you say something from like where you from, you got some clown that comes out and says that he did the same thing, but this happened and he turned out to be some big superhero. But it gets found out real easy because like you said, we're a band of brothers. Like I've been in plenty of fights and skirmishes. I've been in 2 combat tours, and my brothers had my back and saved my life a few times. You know what I'm saying? And the same in return. And so that even makes it that much more. And then on the outside, when you get back to being a civilian, and then you find a group of people that are just like that, remind you of the brotherhood that you shared in the military, grasp hold to it. That's why I grab so hard to the LDBC, is because it reminds me of the brotherhood that I had with the military. Because I'm still friends with people who served with me and who served under me, because I got out as a sergeant. And I mean, it's amazing just to see, because I see some of my old devil dogs who now they are master sergeants. Some are just retired. And here I am. I was this old dusty sergeant. You know what I'm saying? One of the coolest. That's where my name comes from. My last name is Williams, and no one calls me by my first name. Not even my relatives. No, they don't even call me by my first name. They call me by Will. And I even got it tattooed on me. They call me by Will. That's just how much that name stands out, and that name stuck with me for the last 25 years. I mean, that's why I go by Will. That's why I go by Trill Will or Ill Will, because that's what everybody called me. Because I was a brawler. I would fight. I boxed in the Marine Corps too. You know what I'm saying? So that's and I fell in love with boxing because of my grandfather and my dad, and they used to watch boxing all the time, and I fell in love with it, and I've been in love with it since then.
I miss that about the Navy, man. When you're out to sea for a long time, and I was on the 4 deployed aircraft carrier, as I mentioned, you're talking about 9 months out of the year out to sea.
Yes, sir.
That's a long time. And you're going to get into some altercations. I promise you that.
I got some stories, man. I got stories.
Man, I talk for days about it. But I tell you what, though, what I miss about it is the people in the we call, for all those unmilitary people, we call it the berthing area, right? The areas where you sleep. And they say, hey, look, you two got a problem. Guess what? Tonight at 8:00, when everyone gets off, y'all hashing it out, and you just show up. It turns into a wrestling match. It's a wrestling match, turns into an MMA match, and then it turns into a boxing match. And then when it's done, the chief comes in the next morning. You see one dude's got his eye all busted up, and chief said, "What happened to you?" "Oh man, I fell down." "Is that what happened?" "Yes, sir. Drunk. That's what happened." "All right."
I was drunk.
But that's how it is, man.
Man, you bring it back some memories, bro. You bring it back some real good memories, man.
We got Big Dog Willie in the super chat. Not only is he dropping these super chats almost every time I go live, but he's also an official member of the channel. That's love and respect right there. Sure. He says, y'all don't know, my pops passed away yesterday. I watched my first fight with him, Hagler versus Hearns. I fell in love with boxing after that fight. And look, man, condolences to you, bro.
Yes,
For
indeed.
real. Like there's nothing worse in this world like losing someone so close to you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I lost both my uncle and my aunts when I was in the military. They died very young, one with cancer, one with a heart attack, and it's tough. You know, it's tough.
Yeah,
So cherish the moments, everyone.
Right.
Cherish the moments with your loved ones and your families because life is short. You never know.
facts.
And if you got any problems or disagreements with anybody in your family right now, text them and say, "Yo, it ain't worth it. Like, let's meet up. Let's have a drink. It's not worth it because family's everything, man.
Yes,
When everything goes sour and your friends turn their back on you, family's there, you know. So, uh, condolences to you, big dog, man. And like Trill Will said, and kind of loco, and I'm sure Tay feels the same way.
Yes,
Hit
sir.
us up, any of us, on IG if you need someone just to talk to, you need a phone call or whatever it may be, man. We're here for you, bro. Like True
Sure.
Will said, we're family out here.
Sure.
hmm that's what it's all about,
Uh,
right there, man.
Yes,
It,
sir.
yep.
it hits different when you lose a parent. I lost
Yes.
my mom in 2011. That's where all these tattoos on my arm come from. All of them represent
Mhm.
my mom, and my mom was like my best friend, my biggest cheerleader. And I'll tell you a quick story. Back when I graduated from boot camp, I graduated April 10th, 1995, and when my when we did the crucible and all that stuff, you get a phone call your parents, tell them, hey, now I'm a Marine, you're all excited and everything. So I called my parents, my mom and my dad, both on the phone, all excited. My dad said, son, I got some bad news. We're not going to be able to make your graduation. Heartbroken. So
Mm.
the next morning I had to get up and I was going to go down to the bus station and go get a bus ticket. But my homeboy said, bro, just wait. I got a funny feeling your dad and your mom might show up. I was like, so I'll wait till after graduation and go get a Greyhound ticket so I can go home. Man, the next morning we went to Chow and we went out to the quarter deck and I graduated 1st Battalion Delta Company and it's right there overlooking the road. And then you see the quarter deck and you see all the stands where everybody's going to sit. And so we're doing morning drills. It's like 6:30 in the morning. We're doing drills and we marching. And there was a couple sitting right dead center of where the stands were, wrapped in a blanket, just watching us do drills. I didn't know who they were. It's black couple sitting out in the middle of the stands. Weird. Black people don't get up that damn early. So we drilling. I'm the squad leader. I'm third squad leader. So I'm closest one to the stands when we drilling and walking by. We do eyes right. First squad, eyes stay straight. Second, third squad, eyes turn right. So you're looking at everybody in the crowd and everybody going around. We do eyes right. And I lock eyes with my mom. I broke down in tears because my mom and my dad were the first two people who sat in that stand and waited. And it was cold outside. And they waited for us to graduate. And that right there sticks with me, and it will stick to me till I hit my grave. And that's the reason why you cherish your parents. I don't care. Some people may have the frayed relationship with their parents. I'm just telling you, it's nothing like seeing your mom or your dad laying in a casket that makes it hurt that much more. But that's why I say appreciate your parents. And God is funny. He has a very vivid sense of humor. I'm about to be a grandfather. And the day of my grandchild is going to be my first grandchild is going to be born is the exact day that my mom passed away, May 2nd.
Mm.
Wow.
No coincidence, man.
Nope.
Everything happens for a reason.
About to make me
Everything
cry.
happens for a reason.
That's about to make me be a bitch on this.
Hey,
On your
you
show,
got,
bro.
you got to get it out, bro. You got to get it
Yeah,
out. You know,
yeah,
and
man.
for
It's
real, like
heavy. It's heavy though.
anybody right now, and I've been there. I've been there. I didn't have the greatest relationship with my dad. He was a hard ass. A lot of things I didn't like that he did, man. But my stepmom married. They were married like 30 years or something like that. She kicked him out on the street. And now he's helpless, and he's a broken down old man, and all that pride and ego that he had when he was younger. Now he's broken down. And I could have easily said, man, well, shit, you reap what you sow. Good luck. But
Mhm.
you can't, and so I make sure that he got what he needs. as comfortable as possible. And like you said, man, it's not worth it. So anybody going through this right now, text them up right now, brothers, sisters, aunt, uncles, whoever they are. Give them a text. Let them know.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It's all love
indeed.
out here.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get to boxing, man. Let's shake it out. We got a lot of good stuff coming up here, man. Obviously, we got Joshua Usyk right here around the corner, man. I'll let you guys speak a little bit about it, on your thoughts about this fight. I'll go ahead and kick it off. I've already made a few videos about it. I have my official breakdown / prediction video. I do
Probably
that for
the
every
only
big
one.
fight. Well, we'll see. So I've made the video, man, and I thought about this fight for a long time, and I had to. It took me a while to make my prediction video because it's a tricky one. It's a very, very tricky one. You think about all the little small details, man. It starts to add up. And for me, it's kind of funny, right? When you look at them, they both went to the same Olympics. They both won a gold medal. One as a heavyweight, the other one as a super heavyweight. So they both got skill. And you also know they both know each other. Because if you go to the same Olympics, you know each other.
Yep.
And so one guy is a little bit more slippery, got some hand speed, got some nice footwork. And the other one has also very good traditional boxing skill. He's big, he's strong, and he can hurt you. One guy, though, has been dropped, but he's been dropped against guys that, can punch. So it's very interesting. All details to the side and to get the conversation flowing. I think Usyk's gonna pull it off, man. I really do. I think he's gonna be slippery, man, and he's gonna do just enough. The only doubts that I have is the fact that they're fighting in the UK. And if it is a close fight, Joshua could get the nod. It could be a split or a majority or something like that. But if Joshua can't hurt Usyk, then I think it's a wrap, in my opinion. I think Usyk will do enough and make it difficult. Usyk is smart, man. He knows that Joshua's a big boy. Even if Joshua slims down and loses 10, 15 pounds, he knows that if he gets in the way of a big right hand, it can hurt him. So I think he's preparing for that, and he's got that southpaw style. And I don't know how Joshua can deal with the southpaw like Usyk. It's one thing when you have a traditional southpaw who comes forward, but Usyk is like in and out, using angles and keeping his foot to the outside constantly. And, he's perfected that in his career. That's why he's an undisputed cruiserweight champion. So that's what I got. And I'll swing it over to Tay Jones, and we'll go round robin here, Tay to Will to Loco at the end. So what do you think about Usyk and Joshua, who you got and why?
I think Joshua wins the fight. I know I heard you speak about, how Usyk definitely keep his foot on the outside. But, depends on what Joshua has trained for, even though I talked to those guys and kind of know how he's doing in camp and things of those nature. Even if he does keep his foot on the outside, Joshua can keep going to his right. And he can use his back foot. He can use his back foot instead of using his front foot to keep his left foot on the outside of Usyk. With that being said, he can definitely slip the left hand a lot. Now, by doing that, he can also keep walking to his right and keep the hook going to keep Usyk offset as well. And he can also keep throwing the straight right, because that's definitely going to land. For one of the reasons it's going to land because of the reach. Now, how good of effect is he get off of it is going to be a determining factor. Now, for Usyk on the other side, I mean, me personally, I feel like Usyk may be the better fighter. And I'm not saying that he's just all that in bag of chips. I'm saying he's the better fighter because of the different type of style, the type of style that he possesses. He can definitely box, he can definitely bang, he can definitely move, and he can maneuver as well. Now, how well Joshua adapts to him moving is going to be another question as well. Is those heavy muscles going to get fatigued or not? That's going to be another determining factor. Before it's all said and done, I haven't seen Usyk look as as good as he did in the heavyweight division as I saw him in the cruiserweight division. Um, these men are punching in the cruiserweight now that he's jumped in within the top 4, top 5 heavyweights, and he's facing predominantly right now the top guy. I mean, listen, anything can happen, but if Joshua put his hands on you, and I've seen how you responded to other heavyweights putting their hands on you, it wasn't pretty, and I don't think it's going to be pretty either.
Very interesting, and I just want to let you guys know real quick before I swing it to Will. I just put a poll up in the chat. Who you got? Usyk, Joshua. Make sure you vote, and let's see what the people think about it. We always like to refer to that to see where people's minds are in the fact. We also got Stormy B in the house. Stormy and I have talked about this fight behind the scenes multiple times. I already know who he's got in this fight, but I'll let him comment in the chat as we go along here. So, Will, who you got and why?
Okay. I look at it in a different perspective, and I feel what Tay was saying. Joshua do possess the skill to possibly escape Usyk, but it doesn't really take power to beat Joshua. It takes skill, it takes endurance. And the thing about it is, what happens if Anthony Joshua runs into a buzzsaw like he did against Andy Ruiz? Does he go back into that mental state that he had when he went against Andy Ruiz and he ran and he quit in the corner? Does he, like, what happens to his gas tank? Anthony Joshua got a weak gas tank. His gas tank is trash, super trash. Matter of fact, his defense, he's straight up and down, lateral movements. He's left to right. He doesn't have anything special. No bells, no whistles, not anything. But Usyk has all that stuff. Usyk can slip punches and can move out and change angles at will. He can do all that. Anthony Joshua can't. The only thing Anthony Joshua may possess over Usyk is power. But the thing is, can Anthony Joshua land a shot on Usyk? And if he does Usyk get hurt and get dropped? Or B, does he get hurt and he come back swinging with a vengeance like Andy Ruiz did? And then that begs the question, how much heart does Anthony Joshua really possess if Usyk puts him in trouble? See, that's the reason why I'm going with Usyk, because those questions in the back of my mind where I'm sitting there thinking, like, what happens if Usyk gets super technical, moves in and out, slips punches, and he puts Joshua in a predicament to where he can actually get him in trouble and he actually catches him with a shot? Because we know Anthony Joshua's chin is trash. I ain't gonna cap. His chin is just 100% garbage. So if he catches him with a nice, good old shot and have him wobbly like Klitschko did and like Andy Ruiz, you know what I'm saying? Get him doing the stanky leg in there. Will
just did the wobble.
Yeah, he's not doing the wobble, bro. What happens? That's the reason why I pick. That's why I pick Usyk. If I had to eat crow, I eat crow. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's who I got.
I feel the same. It's one of those fights where if I'm wrong, I don't feel that bad about it. Because at the end of the day, Joshua he's the heavyweight champ. He's a bigger guy. He's supposed to win.
Yeah,
he's supposed to win. You know what I mean? It's not like Joshua wins and, oh my God, he beat the cruiserweight. That's not how it works. You move up and fight the bigger man. You're supposed to win. All right, Loco, man, what do you got? Tell the people.
Man, it's hard to go last because all the ammo being expended, man. But listen, man. I'm going with Usyk, but I think Usyk is more of a true heavyweight now than he was 6 months ago. So that's another thing that I factored into that. I think he's grown into the heavyweight division now. So now you got to look at him as a true heavyweight and not a cruiserweight moving up. That's out of the way now. He already got his ugly fights out of the way. As Tay Jones knows, man, once you get the ugly fights out of the way, you generally go back to the gym and you're not going to look that bad again. Right. You're just not. You know, you're gonna make some adjustments and figure different ways to fight in this new division.
Right.
Anthony Joshua is too robotic for me, man. The only thing that Joshua to me has that is good is that jab. Mm-hmm. You know, which could be key for him. If he could jab Usyk all night, but is he gonna stay
committed?
You know, doing that jab all night? I think there's going to be lapses in between there. And once he stops using that jab the way he needs to, I believe Usyk is going to come in the mid-range or inside and cause a lot of problems for Anthony Joshua, man. And we know that Anthony Joshua has a suspect chin.
Right.
If Andy Ruiz, beat him that first fight, I think Usyk is a way better skilled fighter than Andy Ruiz. The only thing that Andy Ruiz has over Usyk is the speed. Andy Ruiz has very fast hands, so
You do.
I don't think Usyk has as fast as hands as he does, but I think technically he's better sound than Andy Ruiz. So I am going to favor Usyk in this, and this is probably the only time I'm going to talk about this fight because I really didn't even give a damn about this fight, to be honest with you, man.
That's fair. And another point about Andy is that he's a big boy. I mean, he's stature-wise, he's on the short side as far as the heavyweight's concerned, got a short reach, but he's a big boy. You got to put some power behind that to knock down Andy Ruiz. So Joshua does have power. There's no doubt about it. You knock down Andy Ruiz, you put some power behind it. But again, like we've been talking about, can he land that shot, though? Can he hit Usyk on the chin? Or maybe not. Maybe an equilibrium shot, maybe a top of the head, but can he put enough power to actually hurt Usyk? And I think if he does hurt Usyk and he's wobbly, he gets up at the count of 8, he can't find his feet, yeah, I think Usyk could be in big trouble because then Joshua can just walk him down and just be the bigger guy. So, I'm going to watch it. It's a heavyweight match. How could you not watch it? I'm going to watch it for sure.
One last
Go ahead,
thing.
brother.
One last thing. I really do hope Usyk wins because I think he's got the balls to step in there with Wilder, whereas I don't think Joshua will. So that's all I had to say in between that.
Yeah.
Facts.
All right, so let me swing that around. Because we got a lot of different scenarios that can happen now. If Usyk pulls the upset, in my mind, I think if Usyk wins, they're going to rematch him immediately.
Yes.
Joshua has to. He has to try to get his belts back. Because by the time Wilder and Fury face off, we already know the winner of Joshua Usyk. Okay? So then it spices that spices the October 9th date even more because now what's it gonna be? So if Joshua, so that's why I don't care who wins. If Usyk wins, it's more like I told you so.
Right.
But if Joshua wins, it's more like, okay, now what are you gonna do, Joshua? What are you gonna do? Because now Wilder beats Fury, and I believe he's gonna knock him out. So there's gonna be no question on that. Wilder reclaims the WBC. You know what Wilder's going to do? He's going to say, Joshua, what's good? I want those belts. I want to be the undisputed. So it's going to show the true character of Joshua. And to Loco's point here, he's saying, and I agree that Joshua doesn't want that fight. Well, we already know, right? Because we're content creators. We talk about this all the time. That Joshua's already talking about Joe Joyce. So let me swing it around just one more time before the next topic I want to talk about, because I think the people in the chat are chomping at the bit. I think they all want us to talk about Fury Wilder. But let me swing it and ask this. If Joshua does win and he does have the balls to face Wilder, I think it's going to be unanimous, but I have to ask it. Who wins that fight, Joshua or Wilder? I'll start with Tay.
Last again.
That won't go past 5 rounds.
Nope. It won't go past 3. It won't. It won't. So Wilder will erases his equilibrium by round 3. Gone. And I'm talking about straight jab,
bro.
The old one too.
Bro, y'all are going too far with it. I don't think it goes past 1. That right hand that he's susceptible to. Ooh. You think that ain't gonna land in the first round, man? Come on, man. Y'all give too much credit. 3.
My bad.
3 and 5.
First round, bro.
Brazil style, just like the Dominic Brazil fight.
Folded like a bag of laundry in the middle of the ring, wherever they fight at.
Oh man, that Brazil knockout was nasty.
He gonna fold him, bro. That's why Eddie Hearn has been protecting AJ all of this time, because he knows it's only one punch that Deontay Wilder has to land, and he will land it. There ain't no question, will it land? No, the question is when. Wilder's gonna land the punch at will. He does it on everybody, and you're going to sleep. Good night.
What does Deontay say? I don't know when it's gonna come,
but it's coming. And that's your ass, Mr. Postman. Goodbye.
Oh Yeah, man. So I think we all know that Joshua has been avoiding Wilder for a reason. He can talk all that craziness. And my opinion is, man, I think in the heavyweight division, the only real I don't even call it a threat. I guess you could call it a threat if you want to get nitty gritty. But the one guy that could always give Wilder problems is Tyson Fury. It's just styles make fights.
I disagree.
In my opinion, because he's big, he's long, he uses dirty tactics and headlocks and rabbit punches and throwing his shoulder into your face and all the other. We can go for days on what he does to try to win fights, but I think that just stylistically and size wise, he would always probably offer the biggest problem. Now, some people may say, "Oh, what about Dillian White?" and "Oh, what about Joe Joyce?" and all these other heavyweights. Well, we all have our different opinions, man. But I want to say real quickly about the Brazil fight. And I tell Fury fans this all the time, and I'm sure there's Fury fans peeking through the bushes right now as we're doing this because that's how it always is, right? I want people to know and understand this. We go back to the Brazil fight. Fury fans probably don't know this because they don't watch Wilder's fights, but we know this. Brazil was talking a lot of shit before that fight, and it got personal.
Yes.
Y'all remember that? Mm-hmm. And Wilder said, "Okay, bet," and cleaned him out. First round, ba-bop. Right? Now we got a similar situation with Fury now. Except this has been going on for 3 years. For 3 years. So I tell the Fury fans, you all saw what happened in Brazil. Now, okay, I got it. Brazil isn't Fury. Okay, I got that. But Brazil went out and won. Right? For a less of an offense, if you wanna put it that way. 3 years of animosity, 3 years of chaos, 3 years of lies and deception. What do you think Wilder's going to do to Fury? Let's sink down into reality for a moment. He don't play, man. Deontay don't play around. We don't play no games out here. And for me, I feel like Fury thinks it's a game. Fury thinks it's a game. I don't think he's been training. He may be training now because the fight is creeping closer. But I think it's too late. It's just too late. He didn't put enough work in the gym, and I think that he may be in okay shape. I feel like I think he initially wanted to maybe lose weight, but I think he's gonna keep that weight on. I think he's gonna try to bully Wilder and try to call Wilder's bluff. I think that's what he's gonna try to do.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that now.
I'm gonna throw a wrench in what you just said. This is gonna be the first fight between Wilder versus Fury, where Fury has to fight Wilder straight up, with no flappy gloves, no nothing. It's gonna be straight up and down, natural God-given gift. So it's no room for no one to say someone's making excuses, no one to say anything else. This is essentially the rubber match, because in my opinion, Jack Reese's opinion, and everybody else who watched that fight, who even knows even an inkling of boxing, Wilder won that first fight 7-5. And if you want to debate it, we can debate it, and I can show you the rounds where Fury didn't throw no punches and Wilder landed all of the punches in the first 4 rounds, and he got dropped twice. So how in the world can you win a fight when you got dropped twice and you didn't throw any punches in the first 4 rounds?
This is what Fury was doing.
That's all he was doing, celebrating the whole time. That doesn't win you rounds, period. That doesn't win rounds whatsoever. But at the end of the day, this is essentially the rubber match. And this time you have Fury in there with no additives, no preservatives. You don't have none of these cheat codes and whatever else they had in place or whatever happened, because none of us were there except Tay. Tay was the only one that was there, and he knows what happened. You know what I'm saying? So I'm speaking for myself. I wasn't there, so I don't know the extent to what everything that happened there happened. But I do know this. This is going to be the first fight Tyson Fury has to fight Deontay Wilder straight up with his God-given talent and God-given skill. And people are going to see a vast difference in this fight between the last 2 fights. Because the first fight, Wilder was anxious to get him out of there. And I think that was what his Achilles heel was in the first fight, because he was anxious to get him out of there. But this time, you have a cold, calculated, Deontay Wilder with a boxing brain and Dunn House training this man on every aspect of boxing. And then on top of that, essentially what people don't think about, and my brother BFTB made a very valid point. He said that Deontay Wilder is essentially green. He hasn't unlocked his true potential in every tool that he may have in his tool chest, and now he has. So now you get to see Wilder be a boxer and go in there, and that's a dangerous thing with the most destructive puncher in boxing. Period. Point blank.
All right, Cano Loco, I know you waiting.
Listen, man, I made a video about 2 years ago stating that Deontay Wilder was the most underrated boxer. You heard me right. Boxer in boxing. Okay, this guy could box. He went away from boxing. If you follow boxing long enough, you know he could box. He went away from boxing because he got enamored with that right hand. Okay, what Malik Scott is doing, he's not teaching him anything he didn't already know. He's bringing it back out of him and waking it back up so he can instill it in his game plan when he fights again. I said it 2 years ago when people laughed at me. He can't box. Then you're not watching boxing. He does a lot of setting up too, man. Like, I can't remember if it was Luis Ortiz 1 or 2. But he threw a jab that he didn't even care if he landed. It was to get Luis Ortiz's attention. As a matter of fact, he didn't land it. He half-assed through it, and when Luis Ortiz flinched on it, there came that right. Bam! That was game over. That was a set-up punch right there. You don't do that if you don't have ring IQ. You don't do that if you don't know what you're doing in the boxing ring. You don't do that if you don't know how to box. What people are watching on film, I have no idea, but I've been screaming this for the last couple of years before the Fury fight. So this ain't new to me. I know the guy can box, and Malik just brung it back out on him, and now the heavyweight is in trouble. The heavyweight division is in trouble now, because the best thing that happened to him was his last fight, because now he realized, okay, I got to go back to that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes,
I don't know. I didn't know Tay Jones back then or not, but like I said, I made that video a couple of years ago. You tell me if I'm wrong, because you've been around him. I haven't.
Absolutely right. I've been saying that too as well.
Yeah,
you gotta, if you watch Deontay from his early years, even when like the first beginning of the pro, maybe up until maybe like 18-0, 20-0, I don't think he realized what he had with his right hand to after maybe like 20, 21, 22 fights, So if you go back and watch those fights, you'll definitely see where he boxed. Even when he knew that he had the right hand, I want to say maybe up to like maybe 28-0. Things of that nature. That's when you seen a lot of him fighting. Even when he captured the belt, he boxed in maybe like 2 or 3 of those fights. But a lot of people knew that. But a lot of people nowadays, he's 40 old, 41-1, I believe now, or 42-1-1. So you go back and look at when he was 38-0, right? Or let's say 35-32. You'll see him boxing those guys when he first started defending the belt. He boxing those guys. So, people gonna say whatever they.
Did the first Deverne fight go to distance? How did he win?
Boxing on the jab. A beautiful jab. A beautiful jab. A beautiful one.
And a lot of that was because he was getting criticized in the media for not boxing. All he had was a one punch and this and that. So he went in there, in my opinion, and proved a point. And then when he did outbox him, then they criticized him again and said, "Oh, we don't want to see you box. We want to see you knock him out." So he said, "Okay, bet. Round 2, knockout. So what?" And then a lot of people discredit Bermane Stiverne. He wasn't a real champ. He was a paper champ, this, that, and whatever. Look, man, y'all never going to be satisfied. But guess what? Come October 10th, we're going to force that satisfaction out of you. Because there's no more debate after October 9th.
Right.
I see my wrenches doing work in the chat, man. There's some people in there, so we got some trolls in here. That's fine. I just want to let you know we have one particular individual, man, Titus. I don't know if you're still in the chat. I know my wrenches have been putting you in timeout because you out here saying some BS. But look, man, the link to this panel is up at the top. If you feel so strongly about what you believe, join the panel. I doubt you do that. But look, man, you can come in here if you think Fury's going to beat Wilder. Come in and state your case. This is what it's all about. But I doubt that. You probably got bygone now. You got your comment deleted, so you probably ran away. But yeah, look. So let's go ahead and continue into the next topic. We'll continue to talk about Fury and Wilder. We're just going to change it up a little bit. First, let me say the poll that we had going for Usyk and Joshua. Joshua won that poll by a little bit. We had 50 people vote in it, and Joshua won 54% to 48%. So pretty close. Pretty close. So you guys know what that means, man. We're gonna got a new poll going. And it, easy one. Who you got? Wilder, Fury. And guess what? We're gonna find out how many Fury trolls we got in here real quick. We're gonna find out real quick.
Hey, I got a question for the ones who saying that Wilder can't box and Wilder ain't got no boxing skill. He ain't knocked out no top fighters. Name a fighter that has done what this man has done: 44 fights, 42 knockouts, because he knocked out Fury. 42 knockouts. Who goes to the Olympics in 2008 and was the only one to medal in the Olympics, and he has no boxing skills? This man can go and knock out anybody. And not only that, this man is knocking out people who weigh 30 to 40 to 60 pounds heavier than he is. He knocked Fury out. He was 209 pounds. 209 freaking pounds. I weighed more than him. I weigh more than Wilder. I'm 205 now because I'm cutting down weight. I'm 205 now. But Wilder was 209 pounds and knocked out Fury, who weighed 256 pounds. And you want to come in here and talk about, man, some of y'all obviously don't watch boxing. Y'all just in here trying to get attention from men. And you really need to evaluate yourself.
Yes, and he did that in the 12th round.
Thank you.
In the 12th round.
Thank you. Do you know how many first round knockouts Deontay Wilder has? 16. 16 first round knockouts. I remember watching.
Anybody know how many Mike Tyson had in the first round?
Sheesh. I could find out. I
think it's around the same, maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more. A little bit more. All right, looks like we got another guy waiting to jump into the conversation. So we got the poll going. Who you got, Fury, Wilder? Make sure you guys vote. Let your voice be heard. I'm going to go ahead and bring in.
He didn't beat anybody. How did he get the title? Who did he beat to get the title?
Exactly. What they say don't make sense.
Luis Ortiz wasn't right? You telling me that?
On that note, real quick, I'm glad you brought up Ortiz. I'm so glad you brought up Ortiz, because when I made my prediction video about Usyk Joshua, one thing I said about Joshua is I don't like the fact that he never fought Ortiz. I don't like that. And
they ducked him.
And they got, they as in Joshua fans, got so upset. How dare you, Divine? Joshua never ducked Ortiz, man. They offered him $7 million and he ducked it. He wanted Wilder because he thought Wilder was an easier fight. But people need to understand. For me personally, I don't know how you guys get down on your channels, but I don't get into all of what managers and promoters say. I talk about fighters. Did Joshua really want to fight Ortiz? I don't think so. And people like to say, oh, he's an old man. Well, when he was an old man, he was knocking dudes out. Nobody wanted to fight him except for Wilder. Not once, but twice. Look, man, Drew Titan, man, I just gave you a wrench, brother. Thanks for staying into the chat. Just want to let you know I had to skim through, man. The chat's blowing up. I had to go through and make sure I give you that wrench, man. I should have done it a long time ago. Thanks for being a part of the conversation tonight. Drew Titan in the building. We're going to bring in the other guests, man. We got Troy Graham in the house.
Hell. What's up, fellas? Hey, Tay, how you doing, brother? All's well. All right. You know what? I was listening to y'all speak. I just have a simple point, man. You know, you all got the third fight. I really don't see the need to keep going back to the first fight, second fight. The third fight's already set. So let's see how that plays out. Because to be honest with you, I really hope Tyson Fury pulls out of that fight, and I hope they have to put White in the fight instead. I really, really do. Why? Because I just don't care to watch Tyson Fury fight. I don't like his style. And White actually, you know, he deserves his pound of flesh. He deserves it. And I think he cheated in his last fight. Knock Wilder out. He'll knock Wilder out once he gets in the ring with him.
No, he doesn't. No, you just out here talking out your ass because you like
we can have a difference of opinion. I don't even know who you are, man.
You know who I am. You know
no, I don't, man. I clicked onto your show one time, and I said that he got to pay for sins. I clicked onto your show once. Once, partner. Once.
I know very well who you are.
Okay, I'm glad you know who I am. I clicked onto your show once. You blocked me, and I never came back.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you for never coming back. I hope you never ever come back.
Okay, let's have a civil conversation. Go ahead and make your point, partner.
Now here, troll though, bro. Divine, I just want you to
I'm not trolling. I'm not trolling. I have a difference of opinion than you, and I might have a strong.
All right, I just muted him because he.
Thank you. He a troll. All right, look, that's all.
Hey, Troy, listen, bro. Listen, I don't know you. I appreciate you dropping by. I'll give you that benefit of the doubt because I don't know you, and I appreciate you coming in. So look, I need because this is what happens, man. This is what happens sometimes when you open a panel like this and you bring people in. All right, so everybody just take a deep breath. So I need to be updated on, you know, if Troy's been over at Trill Will's channel before, or if Cano Loco, if you know who he is.
Okay, well, ask me directly, sir. That's what you have to do is ask me directly.
Shut up,
sir.
Troy.
Right here,
shut up. Okay? That's rude. That's rude. Hey, so, talking. It's his show. Shut up.
So, Troy, let me get this straight. So, you don't want to see Wilder Fury simply because you think that Dillian White deserves a fight against Wilder or against Fury? I'm confused.
Wilder. I don't want to see Fury Wilder 3. There's no need for it. I want to see White get in there and get his pound of flesh. Right.
So Wilder versus Dillian White. But so then what does Fury do?
He's not going to shut up. You know how Fury does. He pulls out Fury's never defended his title. I don't see him doing it now, so he'll probably just go away like he always does.
It's going to cost him $80 million to pull out.
$80 million? Oh, okay.
Yes, $80 million. He can pull out if he wants to. How does Dillian White deserve a fight with Wilder when he got knocked out by a fucking drug chief? And he somehow mysteriously had a rematch clause in a fight where he's not a champion. Explain that.
I just want to know if he knew about the $80 million. That's all.
I didn't come on here to talk about someone else's money, contracts, anything like that. I just came on here to give my opinion, man. That's all I came on here to give my opinion.
I know you did, but what I'm saying is, for him to pull out, he would have to pay $80 million. He doesn't even have $80 million, so he ain't never. Now he's not pulling out.
Stranger things have happened in boxing, baby. Stranger things have happened.
Christ, but now
don't call me baby. Now we ain't doing all that shit now.
Jesus Christ, bro.
That's just a word I use, man. It don't mean nothing. Calm down, man. I mean,
your energy is just all fucked up. I'm sorry. You just messed up the whole energy of the panel.
How's my energy?
Because you're a known troll. We know you're a troll. You're a troll.
I haven't trolled at all.
I'm so against it. Wilder don't. I want to see Wilder Fury fight. Why didn't you want to see Wilder Fury fight? The two biggest superstars in the heavyweight. Ain't an opinion. Dillian White is trash. He's garbage. He's a bum. He got his ass beat by Povetkin. Povetkin knocked his ass the fuck out. Period. Point blank. And he goes and suspiciously get a rematch clause, and he beats this man off COVID. Now all of a sudden, Dillian White deserves a fight with Wilder. Man, if you don't get the entire fuck up out of here, you don't know boxing. You don't watch boxing to protect these fighters and to give people their just dues. This man had a signed contract, which is the reason why Wilder's getting his third fight. It was a signed contract. But you don't care about that because you're a sellout.
Man, let me say something. Man. I don't mind having a difference of opinion. I don't mind having a debate. But don't call me baby. I'm a grown man.
No, he just up here trying to ruffle your feathers, Cano. That's all. I done ran into him more times than I would like to. But I'm just saying he just nothing but a troll. He'll come up here and just say stuff just to get under people's skin, just so people can give him attention because he looks for attention from men, which is weird. He hates himself. He hates himself.
All right, he just rolled out.
I'm glad he did. I wish he'd get. Shut up, Will. Shut up.
And look, I apologize, man. I didn't know who he was.
I'm sorry, Divine, but I'm just saying some people just drag me the wrong way, especially when you over here trying to knock down, as if me as a black man in America, seeing a black king getting up here getting shit on by pretty much everybody in the world but a handful of people, and then you bring your sellout ass up on here talking shit about this man who's never said nothing bad about his coon ass anyway. And you come up here with all this raggedy ass energy, and you over here disrupting the energy on the panel. The panel was fine until he got his goofy ass up here with his goofy ass energy. Get your goofy ass the fuck out of here, man. Nobody cares about you. You ain't nobody. You're nothing. You're nobody. You'll never be shit. Fuck you, sellout. That's for me, and I mean that from the bottom of my ball sack. I'm sorry, Divine. I'm sorry. I had to get that off, bro. Sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I don't like disrespectful people, bro. I seriously don't. I don't.
Look, hey, we got Stormy in the house, man. I just want to say real quick before I let Stormy come in here, because I know Stormy he likes to be in these type of conversations, man. And I got much love for Stormy. Look, I didn't know who he was, so I just want to come out and apologize for that. And the thing is I try to give everybody a fair shake, give everyone a fair chance to come in, give their opinions and stuff like that. And for me, like, look, if people think that Fury's going to win, or they don't think Wilder's going to win, or they don't like Wilder, it's an opinion that's unpopular over here. That's for sure. But at the same time, I think the problem is that, you cross the line when you say certain things, and so that's what we want to check. And that's why I took him off the panel. It's not something that I like to do traditionally, but when it needs to be done, then it gets done. So first, I just want to appreciate everybody in the chat, because I don't know. Like I said, I don't know who this guy is. He pops in, and I was confused because he says something like, I don't care about Wilder fighting Fury. I want him to fight Dillian White. And I'm like, what? That doesn't even make any sense.
Hey, Divine. Drew wants a link.
It's in the
he put the polls up now, so it's I'm looking at it on YouTube, so I don't see it.
Man, I know somebody saying that we should have thick skin. We actually do got thick skin, man, but I got a problem with gay comments, man. Another man calling me baby, and we ain't gonna do that. I somewhere, goddamn shoot.
You're a grown man, dog.
I gotta draw the line somewhere.
I'm sorry, man. It just, man, what it is I've heard this cat before on several panels saying just the opposite of what reality is. He'll just go out and say some asinine stuff like Dillian White deserves a fight. Dillian White don't deserve shit. Where's his B sample at? That's what he deserves. He needs a B. I need his B sample. So if anybody can bring Dillian White's B sample for when he cheated Oscar Rivas, please let me know. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. So when did Dillian White become all of a sudden this great fighter? Like Dillian White's going to get in the ring and beat Deontay Wilder. Dillian White don't last 30 seconds. And I'll bet $1,000 to anybody in the chat right now. If Dillian White and Deontay Wilder ever fight, I got $1,000 right now. You heard me on Divine Sense Boxing right here, right now. What's today's date? Today is the 18th. September 18th, 2021. I am betting anybody in this chat, anybody who listens to this video, $1,000 that Deontay Wilder knocks out Dillian White and all of his subconscious in less than 30 seconds in the first freaking round. $1,000. Money talk, BS runs a marathon. Put your money up and stop running your mouth.
Good evening, gentlemen.
What's up with it, Drew?
Drew Tight, what's good, man?
I'm sorry y'all got tight, though, man. I'm
Family.
Listen. I know it's easier said than done, but we have to get better at, not allowing people to dictate our energy. And like I said, it's easier said than done, because Lord knows I've flown off the handle dozens of times. in these YouTube streets. Just so you know, Divine Sense, Troy Graham is a notorious troll. A notorious troll. Um, you know how I always say, if you don't like something, there's an X button. You could just leave. Anytime you put Wilder in your title, it's clickbait for him, and he'll show up and he'll calmly come in and try, and he'll say, "Yo, I'm just having a educated conversation," but it lacks complete and total education. Okay, the man is a liar. I've caught him out in several lies. If I got on the panel and he jumped on, I'd catch him in another lie. All right. Again, let me remind you, this is the guy. This is a guy that told me on my brother Scotty World Combat Sports Show, and I'm not gonna let this go ever. And I know you're listening. All right. He told me that Fred had a horrible show. Twice in the same conversation. 2-3 months later, I hear him on Fred's show. So the Divine Sense, if I tell you if I told I am ill will, I am Trey Will, that you have a horrible show, and then 3 months later I pop up on your show, what am I doing here? That's Troy Graham. That's what he did. Troy Graham had everything to say about a conversation that I had with another grown man by the name of Sugar Hill. Begged me to get on Scotty's panel. I get on, state your case. Yeah, I just didn't like the conversation you had with Sugar Hill. I said, okay, what part? I don't remember. So why did you beg me to get on this panel? I got shit to do. And I had to create a conversation, and I made peace with him. 3 months later, he's on Fred's show, Barbershop Conversations, talking about something that I said. That's Troy Graham. That's Troy Graham. He's a grown-ass troll. He's a grown-ass troll. You put Deontay Wilder's name in the title, he's going to pop up. If you put Dillian White's name in a title, and it's a channel that I don't recognize, I got $100 on it that I don't go there. I'm not interested in what anyone has to say, especially if I don't know you. I don't care what you have to say about any fighter that I don't follow. I don't care. And it's as simple as that. This man likes to show up just to disrupt. Now, we have an educated panel on here. We was having an educated conversation. And I know you didn't know, Devon Sense, I know you didn't know. But you've been thoroughly introduced to Troy Graham, a notorious troll. All right, he's on a lot of these weirdo channels with people on panels kicking and screaming. I don't do that. That's why I don't do debates. I only have conversations with people of like mind. And we can agree to disagree on some things, but this guy takes it too far. This guy takes it too far. Even after you explain certain things to him, he takes it way too far. So he's a waste of flesh. He is a coon. So he can stay wherever he is. And have a good night, Troy. Have a good night and good luck with your channel. Put my name in all your titles so you can get your views up.
I ain't never had no issue with him because I stay in my little corner, man. The first time, I've had the issue is just now, today, with that gay comment. Other than that, I had no interaction with him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, bro.
I got on his neck on Money Brown's channel because he had said some slick, stupid stuff to me. And yeah, I cursed him out for everything he was worth on Money Brown's channel. And I had to apologize to Money Brown because I got out of character.
He needed to apologize to Fred because he told me 2 times that Fred had a horrible platform. And then 3 months later, I'm listening to the voice. I said, I know who that is. And it's him.
He's there all the time now.
Then when I asked him, I asked him, did you not tell me that Fred Hawthorne has a horrible platform? He said, I don't recall. He's a liar. He's a liar. So that's who was here. And I don't deal with people like that. So moving along, let's.
Yeah, and I appreciate you coming in, Drew, man, and thanks for clicking the link Saturday night. What we want to do is talk boxing.
That's right.
I mean, at the end of the day,
ain't got a ring.
You know what I mean?
Oh boy.
And so I just want to say as well, for those people who don't know, I'm reintroducing myself to YouTube. I think it's like 2 or 3 months now, so I don't know everybody. You know, Drew's been chopping it up for quite a while. You guys know who these people are. You guys have interacted with them. You know what I mean? And so I'm learning as I go. And like I said, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, hoping that they come in here and talk boxing. But I appreciate you guys informing me on the situation. As a matter of fact, he's waiting backstage right now.
He the dick, Troy.
So he's trying to get in, man. And
I have nothing to say to that guy.
Nobody got nothing to say to him. Let's just talk boxing. Fuck him.
Because Devon says everything I said to you is 100% true.
Factual.
Everything I said to you, it's 100% true.
And the thing is, Drew, like you already know, like I've got mad respect for you, man. And we have conversations behind the scenes, and we keep it real and authentic, man. And that's why you're here. And Stormy, I see Stormy there, trying to keep his head down and probably trying to keep calm at the situation at hand. But this is the type of panel that I want to build. And yeah, so Stormy, was there anything? I know you came in here. Was there anything that you wanted to say initially, or you just want to get ready to switch it up and get back to boxing?
You know, when I decided to try to click the link to come in, you guys were having a wonderful boxing conversation, which is what I like to associate myself with. Ever since you age, everything that took place this whole time until you just acknowledged me and spoke to me has been bullshit. And it is not my cup of tea whatsoever. Divine, from me to you and everyone else that's on here on the panel that has channels, you guys have to focus on the business at hand. There is always someone out there that will try to sidetrack you off of your immediate directive. And you cannot be swayed. You have to stay vigilant. You have to stay focused. When you allow your screen to be open, flies will come in the house. And everybody knows what flies are birthed from. Maggots. They're nasty. They thrive off of shit. I'm saying nothing but facts here. I represent it like it should be represented. I'm not condemning anyone, but I'm trying to pull all of you who are on this panel with me back in line to remain focused on what your directives are. That took place when I was sitting here listening to all of that foolishness is not your directives, because I've been on each and every one of you guys' channel. Respectfully, you do represent. Let the mods do their jobs. Don't be afraid to banish someone to the Phantom Zone. You have to remain focused. And I'll tell you, it's like I lost all of my desire for what I wanted to come on here for, because what drew me here was the conversation you were having before you left the screen door open. You know, I don't like flies at my picnic. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm stating it, and I hope that people hear what I'm saying here. You guys do great work, man. That's why I wanted to be here. Don't let people take fully engaged in everything. You give out wrenches, let them handle their work. Because that's been about 15 minutes now of no boxing talk. That's the only reason I'm on it. Otherwise, I could go to sleep, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's all I have to say about that. If we can get back to the subject of boxing, I would love to participate.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
get it.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
The sensei. God dang me.
The sensei. Hey.
Sensei.
I appreciate it more than you know, Stormy, man. Sometimes the truth hurts, but you know what I'm saying, you gotta absorb it.
That was
you
my
gotta
fault.
absorb it. You gotta
That was my fault. It's on me. And I do apologize to all y'all on this panel. It was my fault.
Yeah, but you know him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know him. Drew knows him. I don't know him. So he didn't comment, I don't think. I don't think he commented, so I think he got past the moderators and then he just came back.
This is the thing. See, you right here, the great thing about this StreamYard broadcast, you got a private chat.
Yeah.
That's where you handle your business.
Mm-hmm.
Private chat doesn't have to engage the regular chat. And you can tell you guys in the private chat, hey, listen, this is how we're going to handle this. Boom, 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 boom. And that's be done. You know what I'm saying? Use it.
But he's gone. I've removed him from the backstage. He can't click on the link or nothing no more. So that's done. That's done and dusted. Because
in closing,
Yes, sir.
Motherfuck you, Troy Graham, forever. You're a coon. You're always going to be a coon. You're never going to be anything more than a coon. All right? Eat a dick, die slow, choke on it, go floss your teeth with AJ's pubic hair, because that's what you want to do in that big-ass gap between your fucking teeth. I extended my hand in peace to you, and you gave me your ass to kiss when 3 months later, you jumped on Fred Hawthorne's platform and started misquoting me like I didn't hear you. You bastard sinner. So now let's talk some boxing.
Stormy B.
Faggot.
So.
I love y'all, man. For real.
But what Will said earlier, man, this is family, man. This is how we operate. And Deontay touched on it too, right? If you make me mad, you make my family mad, you make me mad. And this is what happens. You come into our house. I didn't even know him, but I got family here who knows him. My family showed up, and that's what it's all about. And when I come on one of y'all's channels, it's the same thing. So look, let's swing it back around. Let's get back into what the people really want to hear about, man. We were chopping it up about Deontay and Fury. We're looking at a few different things, but I want to pull up real quickly. And I know that Stormy B has already touched on it on his channel. Actually, I think I was on. It was last night, wasn't it, Stormy, when we talked about what John Fury has been saying recently. So I don't know if you guys have heard it or not. So what I want to do just real quickly is just play it, and mostly just for the chat, obviously, because they may have not heard it yet. Most of us probably have. But let's get a conversation rolling here as to what John Fury has been saying recently. He's been talking to, I believe it was BT Sports. And he's back at it. He's back at it, man. And I find it a little bit interesting because not too long ago, he was saying how he was worried for Tyson Fury. He was worried that Tyson Fury wasn't training properly over there at Crunk's gym with Sugar Hill, so he went back to the UK. But I guess he's not worried anymore, including to him in this interview here with BT Sports. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the audio because YouTube be on those shenanigans, man. They like to come after me. But I just want to show you guys. I'll pop up the video just real quickly so you guys can see what video I'm actually gonna play. This is from BT Sports. All right, so go ahead and play it. You guys all hear the audio. This is what John Fury has to say.
Well, I tell you how much of a threat he poses. He won't give him $10 step aside money. That says it all, don't it? It's all I'm going to give him. It's a beating of his life. Tyson will send him into retirement this time. He'll never box after this. He's going to get beat to pieces, smashed to pieces.
You look at Deontay Wilder, he's spent his whole career fighting guys that are smaller than him. He generates his power when he's coming over the top of the shot. And what Tyson Fury was doing in the first fight is he was stepping back and kicking. And that's obviously where he got nailed with that shot in the 12th round. But there was enough after he got knocked down, when he got up.
But he took it to him.
He held his feet. We would call it in the gym, he big-manned him. He just got over the top of him.
One thing he has been doing, he's been in the gym, constantly training.
Let me pause it there for a moment. I see Tay Jones. I feel like Tay Jones has probably heard this 1,000 times. He's like, I've heard this music be played before. So let me go ahead and do the round robin here. like we did earlier, and I'll go ahead and start it off with Tay. What do you think about John's, just his initial thoughts right off the bat? As soon as you play the video, he says he's going to smash Wilder, even worse than he did the second fight. It's going to be a disaster for Wilder. He's going to retire and all these different things. What's the first thing that pops into your head, Tay?
His son went home and took some juice.
Short and sweet, huh, Tay?
Mm,
Short and sweet, huh?
that's it.
Short and sweet,
Mhm.
straight to the point.
That's it.
Let me ask you too, Tay, a more of a boxing perspective.
Hmm.
What do you think Tyson's going to do? Do you think he's going to try and first round come in and then try to impose his will? Or do you think he's going to surprise us all and try to bounce on his toes and try to box? What do you think he's going to try to do?
He's gonna box on his toes and try to box.
So you think all of this stuff he's been talking about, I'm going to walk him down, I'm going to beat him up, you think that's just all hype?
Yes, indeed.
But regardless,
Can I answer that question.
Yeah, go ahead, Sorb.
Don't nobody give a damn what he gonna come in and try to do. The best thing that he can try to do is survive, to live through this match. Okay? Because as I stated before, when you're in there and you're waking up a sleeping giant, he tramples everything within his path. You're seeing a situation where they don't really want this to take place. They know. It's like whistling in the graveyard. They know what's coming. So they have to put on false bravado and everything. But at the end of the day, all the talking don't mean a damn thing. Let's just get to that first bell. The Wilder camp ain't worried about what he gonna do. They worried about what they want to do. And that's all that's important. So don't focus on what do you think Fury's gonna do. We've seen what he's done for 20-something fights. Huh? And a lot of it ain't good. A lot of it ain't legal. We know that now. It's been put out there. So now that we know that, we prepare for everything. But is he prepared? That's the question that people need to be asking. And it's kind of funny that they've put the onus on the Wilder camp as to not be ready, as to not be able to make adjustments, as to not be learned or even practiced in this sport. He's the most accomplished between the two. In that very same sound bite clip that you're going to play, you'll hear one of them say, oh, Fury is the kind of guy he can roll out of bed and be the better fighter. Really? In what universe? Deontay is a superior athlete. He could have played professional sports in several other sports, baseball, football, basketball. As I stated last night, Fury's profession is the drug and the bar binge. That's his profession. Lastly, and I'll just pass it on to everybody else because I waited a while. Always go with a winner. Do you hear what I'm saying? I'll say it one more time for the people in the back who had too much wax in their ears, okay, or who were blinded by the BS that's out here on the internet. Always go with a winner. Deontay Wilder is a winner. He's shown it. From the day he started, the reasons that he started boxing. I've said this many times. His story is the stuff that they make movies about and everything. Not drug binging cheaters, wafflers, and puppet men. No. Cream always rises to the top. I'm done.
Butter. Dang, Stormy, how can you come behind that? Shit.
Yeah.
You had to make it hard for me, didn't you?
I ain't going.
You just had to go and be the sensei. Damn it. Okay, I'm gonna try to come at the Stormy. So
Yeah.
God
Will,
dang, Stormy. Shit.
you got any thoughts about John's comments there?
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I live by a statement that I say all the time. If you ever listen to my show, you hear me say it all the time. It's not what you say, it's what you do. Like, for instance, here's an example. There were tweets going out saying Tyson Fury is killing sparring partners. Well, are those sparring partners Jared Anderson? No. F.A. Jogba? Nope. Nope. He just pulled some prospect who wanted to get his name in lights for his 15 seconds of fame and beat up on him. Yay, we're somewhat interested in that mediocre whoever you fought in sparring. Yeah. We're really scared. You see how much I'm shaking right now? The hair on my arm is standing up. No, you can't see it. It's dark in the room, so you can't see it anyway. But anyhow, it's actions. John Fury is going to say anything to try to, hey, look, here's a silver ball. Y'all go fetch. There you go. He thinks that boxing fans, real boxing fans, I ain't talking about the casuals and decafs. I'm talking about real boxing fans, people who analyze the sport and actually watch it. He thinks that we're going to be stupid enough to believe the bullshit that come out of their mouth because they've been peppering BS the whole time for damn near 2 years. All the BS's came from Tyson Fury's camp. All of it. Every bit of it. Deontay Wilder has been steady doing what? Working, perfecting his craft, perfecting his craft. You're going to see it because preparation prevents piss poor performance. And you're going to see Deontay Wilder show you exactly what he's been working on. Do you think, as methodical as Malik King Scott has been, that he showed Tyson Fury's camp everything they've been doing in camp? Fuck no. We just found out that Dunn House was in his camp. You think these people are not smart enough to outsmart you dumb criminals over there in the UK? Wait till October 9th. I cannot wait. Because it's not what you say. Because we know John Fury's full of shit. We know Tyson Fury. So, Gillian Daniel, my boy, he done it. We got the fight August 14th in the desert. What happened to that? Bullshit. Tyson Fury comes out and he said it was bullshit. So and the good thing we were talking about the military earlier, Divine. My Sergeant Medley in boot camp always told me this wonderful statement that I live by to this day, and I'm gonna live by it till I get old and turn to dust. He said, "You can either dazzle me with brilliance or baffle me with bullshit, but you can never do both at the same time on the same day." And that's exactly what Tyson Fury and John Fury are trying to do. They're trying to dazzle you with brilliance and baffle you with bullshit at the same time, like you're too stupid to read between the lines. They're scared. They're terrified. Old media is terrified. All of them are scared. They know what Deontay Wilder is going to do. Like I said before, Tyson Fury has to come into this fight and fight with his God-given talent. And it doesn't measure up to the athleticism and talent of Deontay Wilder. And it's going to be shown in 4K where everybody can see it. Because Tyson Fury's got to live up to what he did in that second fight. Because that's what his trolls and casuals and decafs who don't know shit about boxing, this is what they hold on to. They hold on to it like it's a treasure. They hold on to it like it's the Holy Grail. They hold on to it for dear life because they know they'll never have it again. That was his best opportunity to win against Wilder. He's never going to win against him again.
I agree. I don't feel like being analytical tonight. I just feel like being silly. Tyson Fury has deer knees with dog legs. How the hell does your stomach need a bra strap? He looks like his kidney's about to fall out of his back. All right. No homo, pause. But where is his ass? I mean, it goes from his spine straight to the back of his calves. And ain't one of his legs look like a K, like the side of a K? He dead ass looks like the Michelin Man. Yo, you remember Big Hero 6, the movie? What is really good with this dude's physique?
Bro.
Was he really doing deadlifts? I bet you he hurt himself.
He stopped doing that.
Yeah, he stopped doing. You notice you saw one video that he probably laid up for about a week and took a lot of ibuprofen. The form was fucked up.
Man.
That was, y'all will never know how fucked up that form was. I didn't even say anything. I said, you know what? He laid down for a week. I know he did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you right now.
He got that cat back.
Yeah, he got
the cat back.
Yeah, and I see you, Marco Los. Yeah, I'm just being disrespectful on purpose. I'm doing it on purpose because I don't feel like being analytical because nothing I say helps you. Nothing
Drew.
I say helps. What's up?
Drew, do they got that same energy when they was talking disrespectful about
all the
Wilder?
disrespect to Wilder? Huh? We just played a damn sound clip where they talk about man like he doesn't have any ability. Huh? This man medaled in the Olympics. Where did Fury medal at? Huh? In the bar? This is what I'm talking about. You guys come out here talking this kind of stuff, man. Go sit your ass down somewhere. It's disrespect when somebody's saying something about Fury, but it's not disrespect with everything that they have done to the sport.
Hold on, Stormy. Hold on, Sensei. You see Marco Los? You don't know me. Do me a favor, Devon. Put that comment up. He said, not cool, bro. You're going to talk the same about Andy Ruiz. I'm glad you said that. Put that comment up because now I'm going to educate you. You don't know me. Everybody on the panel, what do I say about Andy Ruiz? Go ahead.
You always say great things about Andy Ruiz.
Yeah, you do.
I know that for a fact.
I give nothing but praise to Andy Ruiz, especially after he whooped AJ's ass.
Sure did.
I do nothing but praise
about Andy Ruiz. He tried to come in here and say we disrespecting Fury. See, don't try to twist it. This ain't no word game here. Okay? You throw Andy Ruiz in there when nobody was even saying anything about Andy Ruiz. We were on Tyson Fury.
That's right.
And you don't like that. Okay?
That's right.
You ain't fooling me. You understand? And you ain't fooling none of the other brothers on this panel.
The
disrespect started in fight number 2. Okay?
Facts.
And now that that's been out there, it's free game. It's open season. Okay? So sit your ass down. You don't like it? Go somewhere else. Because we're going to speak how we want to speak. Huh? It don't matter what you think at the end of the day, does it? Because you weren't speaking out for Wilder when we just played clips. You didn't say anything like what I said last night when I was saying, do you hear the disrespect coming out of these men's mouth? Frank Warren, that guy Dixon, these people sounded like fools, but someone gave them microphones and cameras, and they're going to air that shit tomorrow night on BT Sports.
Yep.
But it's disrespectful.
You want to talk about disrespect?
Excuse me, one more word here, Drew. Not once had any of them said anything like, well, Deontay Wilder was a respectable champion, and even though this third fight, we feel Fury might win, whatever, that, you know, he deserves his third fight or whatever. No, they were talking about he should pack it in, retire, he's been washed and all of this. That's disrespectful. And I'm not going to continue to just take that and listen to that, because the way they feel about Deontay Wilder is the way that they feel about us.
Thank you.
It's symbolic. And Marco, it's obvious that you feel that way about us, because no one said any damn thing about Andy Ruiz Jr.
But you started off talking about us being disrespect. So much disrespect for Fury. And then you threw Ruiz in there. No one said anything about Ruiz. Ruiz became the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world. No one can take that away from him. And he is respected for that.
Yep.
These guys with this foolishness, man.
I guess his issue was Drew talking about the physical appearance.
Well, my thing is, I was very clear. I didn't feel like being analytical because every time I'm analytical, no one seems to hear it. So since we're on a level of disrespect, that BT Sports is about to put out an extremely disrespectful panel in reference to Deontay Wilder. Obviously, what I say falls on deaf ears. So why don't I just reduce myself to being ignorant like everybody else? Where was Marco when, for the better part of a decade, all I have to hear about is Deontay Wilder's legs? Like he's he's a ballerina.
Chicken legs.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa. Knockouts, legs. Knockouts, legs. 98% KO ratio, legs. All right, fine. But no one talks about Tyson Fury's fat ass and flat ass doing deadlifts.
He's built like Hank Hill.
Drew, these are some people laughing, you know. Go ahead.
Yeah, just real quick, and I'll let you jump in, Kano. So basically, it's okay for John Fury, Tyson Fury's brother, that whole team over on that side, to make fun of Wilder's physical appearance, a.k.a. chicken legs, a.k.a. he's a basketball player, he's not a boxer, all these different things. But
question is IQ.
But who am I?
Question is IQ. Yeah, he's
who am I? Who am I?
Right.
Who am I? You know, I all I want to do is talk boxing and knockout ratio. Everyone's talking about his legs, but who am I? Right? So the second, you see, it never fails. Lab rats up in this motherfucker. The second I say something about his physique, here comes somebody. And then they want to bring in Andy Ruiz. And if you knew who I was, you know I give ultimate props to Andy Ruiz. Even though he's running around down there with a bunch of cheaters. I give Andy the most respect. You don't know me, bro. Get to know me before you open your mouth. And you ain't got to broadcast that you a fan of anybody. Don't try and check me. I was very clear. I'm doing it for a reason. They're about to put out this bullshit tomorrow from BT Sports. When have they ever respected Deontay Wilder? You have to listen very carefully because they slip up and tell the truth. 1 minute, he can't punch. The next minute, he hit me with a jab and almost broke my hand. Which one is it? When we call out these contradictions, where are y'all? Are y'all on the European channels telling them, yo, stop talking about Wilder's physique, talk boxing? Are y'all over there with that shit, but you show up here? Y'all always found y'all way here. So the sensei's right. It's us. Because I've eavesdropped on those big channels, and they're talking about impartially. They're talking about who wins between Fury and Wilder and AJ and all these. And I've listened to it, and I just looked at the chat. A lot of those people are people I had to block. Chicken legs, windmill, chicken legs, nigger.
Torganator.
Thank you.
Niggers.
Thank you. Mayates. Thank you.
Riggin. I see it all in their chats. I'm like, look at this. And guess what? Silence is co-signing because nobody says anything to anybody in that damn chat.
I got a question. Where was Marco when Tyson Fury's brother threw up the Nazi salute?
The Yick Howe sign? I don't know. Ask him.
Where was he at? I don't know. He didn't say shit about that, huh?
But this is what we got to fight against.
Selective outrage.
So my thing is this. If I choose to get on my live stream Monday morning and shit on Fury's physique for 2 hours, don't watch. Because I've been speaking analytical the whole time I've been on YouTube. And y'all don't agree with me anyway. So I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I've been analytical. I've been patient. I've been cordial. know what I'm saying? No matter which road I take, case in point tonight, I just said before I went on my rant, I said I don't feel like being analytical tonight. I'm going to be just as ignorant as that BT Sports shit that's going to be released tomorrow. And right on cue, somebody comes in here and you defending Tyson Fury? You trying to tell me to be fair and don't criticize anyone's physique, and then you brought up Andy Ruiz, but not one time did you say, although they teased Deontay Wilder, you shouldn't reduce yourself to that level. You didn't even try to do that. You just went straight, oh, don't do that. Don't fucking tell me what to do. Go tell them. Fuck out of here, man.
Go ahead, Kano.
You on mute, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I got it, man. These are the same people that are on the other channels, man, that you know, calling Deontay Twerkinator and all this, but they cool with that, though, man. So we already know what it is, man. You know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. Stormy already said it. All right? We don't need to go any further than that on that, man. Now, I didn't put too much into what John Fury said because, honestly, that's his dad. He gonna say what he got to say. Yeah, you know, you can't even be mad at his dad for, you know, talking up for his son. You know, that's what a father gonna do, whether he wrong or not. You know. Second of all, I don't see Fury doing anything different. He is who he is. Only difference is he gonna have to come in clean this time. And what's gonna happen is Deontay Wilder gonna take him underwater with the sharks and drown his ass. That's what's gonna happen, man. Simple as that, man. I'll pass the floor back.
Divine, I think you missed the super chat.
From William. Sorry about that, bro. The chat's blowing up, man, and we've got a lot of heated stuff going on at the moment. I apologize. I'll scroll up and try to find it for you. And in the meantime, I want everyone to know that if you don't know, I've done a film study of the second fight. So anybody out there curious, confused, think that we're up here just talking a bunch of shit, I invite you. 2.5 hours of me doing a film study of that second fight, brick by brick. And we point out a lot of very interesting points about that. And I learned a lot from the people that were in the chat that I didn't see. And I'm sure that I educated those that were in the chat as well. From the moment he walked into the ring to the moment the bell rang, where he didn't have his legs underneath him, to the water being given to him by the man who said he never handles the water. Yeah. Y'all forgot about that. I don't handle the water. But yet, every single round, he was giving him water.
Yo, was that Dasani
so people get up. Yeah. So
do y'all know about Dasani water?
Oh, yeah. I've already talked about Dasani water, man. I've already talked about that on my channel. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And so I think the thing that we have to do and what we try to do as a panel, we're all content creators here, is we don't want to pull on heartstrings. We get accused I got accused the other day of pandering to the emotional fans. That's what I get accused for. No. I see something that doesn't look right, I talk about it. Just like we talk about Valdez popping. Just like we talk about any other fighter out here who's doing dirty work. That's what we do. So, but you guys don't watch those videos. You don't want to hear about that. You want to hear about what we're saying about your man, Tyson Fury. And so for me, that's why I do the things that I do, like film studies, because it's like, okay, don't take my word for it. Watch it for yourself. Watch it for yourself. People got so upset about how Mark Breland got thrown under the bus. And people twist that so viciously by saying, oh, you know, Deontay, he's a black man who comes out and speaks about the injustices and all this different stuff, and he holds black people up on the highest regard, but then he throws a fellow black man under the bus. That's how they twist it. But they don't look at the small, intricate details that happen behind the scenes. Now, Stormy and I know for a fact have spoken about this on numerous occasions, and Stormy has brought things up to my attention that I didn't even think about. But my biggest thing is, who in boxing history, somebody educate me, has thrown a towel from a seated position ringside and doesn't even go up to the ring apron to throw the towel at the referee, or at least in the middle of the ring. When have you ever seen that? Right? And then we can rewind the tape even further back than that. What was it? After the first fight, he left. He just walked out when they called it a draw. So the history between Wilder, and if Tay wants to speak on this, he can. That's up to him. But the history between Wilder and Mark Breland is far more extensive than what people realize. This isn't something that just came out of thin air, and Wilder got upset because he lost, so he blamed the loss on Mark Breland.
I was just talking about that with Classic, the rapper, yesterday. And we was talking about that just yesterday, about what happened after the first fight. And that's something that everybody missed. When he told me about it, I had to go back and watch it. And I said, yo, what the hell was wrong with him? And he was talking about the energy being ridiculous after the first fight. In the second fight, he said everything was off. Nothing was right. And that's what I'm saying. These people have this preconceived notion that Mark Breland is this victim. Now, mind you, I ain't got to talk bad about him. I'm just pointing out the facts. Mark has been with D for over, 11 years, 12 years? Now, my thing is this. For 11 or 12 years, we were defending him. Because everybody was saying, oh, man, I'm disappointed with Mark. He's not teaching D how to do anything. It's just a jab and a right hand. I'm disappointed with Mark. What is he doing? I've even heard people say, yo, D need to get a new trainer. And this is before he won a WBC, because he's not learning anything. I said, okay. First loss, what does D do? He does what the haters been telling him to do for 10 or 12 years. He gets a new trainer. Next thing you know, it's justice for Mark Breland. What is going on with y'all? He's listened to y'all, and now he's showing you the results of the change, which looks well, and y'all still got a problem. Y'all want Mark there because if Mark is there, the chances of Fury winning is greater. Y'all don't want change. Not like how y'all say y'all do, but it's too late. And all of this going back and forth from not wanting to fight to Fury acting crazy and all of this acting out, it's like a child acting out. But the reality is he needs a nap. All that crying and shit, he needs a nap. That's what this is. He needs a nap. All this crying and acting out, he needs a nap. He gonna get set straight on October 9th. All of this is fear from the fans, from the Furies, from the across the pond. They're trying to speak things into existence, and it's just not gonna work. The walls have closed in. There's nothing you can do. You can't play games with the gloves. You can't play games with the water. You can't play games with the commission. Nothing is gonna work. This is gonna be the first time you're gonna have, I'm sorry, this may be the second time you fought clean. Because I swear to God, you went in there underestimated Otto Wallin and you almost fucked around and got knocked out in that fight. You said, well, I can't do that again. Back to cheating. You're coming in clean this fight. And I'm telling you, it's not going 5. It's not going 5. You're done. You're absolutely out of, you're finished, dude. You're going to have to fight clean, and that's something you're not used to. You have to take the training wheels off now and ride the 2 wheels. You're not used to that, dude.
And yo, Drew, you notice how during the press conference, Tyson Fury went out of his way because obviously Wilder wasn't speaking, right? So it was Malik doing all the talking. And Tyson went out of his way to try and basically throw him under the bus as well. I'm talking about Malik. And he said, how are you going to teach him to do something that you couldn't do yourself? And Malik's like, well, what are you talking about? We sparred, Tyson. What are you talking about? We never fought. And so my thing is, what I gathered from it, and y'all can speak on it, man, the press conference to me was very telling on many different levels.
Oh, they were scared.
Many different levels. And Tyson Fury wanted to he had a plan in his head. Obviously, he comes in shirtless, chain hanging low, wearing his 1975 Elvis Presley pants, hat turned backwards. And he wanted to make sure that I'm going to come in here and I'm going to try to bully everybody. I'm going to try to bully everyone.
Well,
and
the
I
best
see Malik
person to
Scott
talk
sitting
about
over
that,
there. Yeah.
The best person to talk about that was the person that was there. Tay was there. He could tell you.
Yes, sir.
Get one last word in because I got to run,
Yeah.
man. I
All
appreciate being on the panel. Drew family, Stormy B-Man family, Tay Jones, a Trill Wheel family, Divine Sense. Hey, this first time I got to chop it up with you, and it was great, man. I just wanted to leave on this note, man, and just want y'all to think about this, man. Why is everybody rooting for Fury, a UK fighter? Now we're in the United States of America, where they talk that the heavyweight division is the division of the divisions in boxing, and you don't want an American heavyweight champion? You're racist.
Facts.
If that's the thing, man. You're racist.
Facts.
If that's just plain and simple. But I appreciate you let me on the panel, man. I gotta go. Good night.
Thank you, Cano.
Salute, Cano.
Peace, Cano.
Appreciate it.
I got one question. Do y'all remember when Sugar Hill said at the press conference where Wilder was so methodical and not saying anything, that out of nowhere Tyson Fury got one punch knockout power, and then Tyson Fury goes on Twitter and says he's the most destructive puncher in boxing? Y'all remember that? Well,
speaking on that, we got Platboy Gaming in here, man. He literally just asked the same question you did, Will.
Oh, wow.
Let's talk about this one punch knockout power Fury has developed.
He ain't got it. Bro, he ain't got it. He ain't got it.
Is that with or without the egg weights?
Right.
because from what I know, the damage on the skull of Deontay Wilder are inconsistent with a boxing glove. That man has never done that, and he has how many TKOs? He has like 4 real knockouts, and the rest of them are TKOs, which means they've been stopped. Nobody has had their shit dented up like that. So where'd that come from? I don't know. Maybe you can ask the arbitrator. He accused me of cheating. Okay, well, let's see the proof. Here's the proof. Okay, Fury, what you got to say about this? Nothing. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. 80 million or retire. Get out of here. Get out of my face. And then when you ask other people, well, of course I think Fury cheated. He's a gypsy. I didn't say that. Other people have told me that. I know nothing about gypsies. I keep saying this. Only thing I know about gypsies is from when they popped up on a Scooby-Doo cartoon. I'm American. I don't know shit. I don't know it.
They're travelers. That's all I know.
I had other people tell me about. I'm like, well, what is this about gypsies? What is this? And then they told me. Matter of fact, Tyson Fury told John David Jackson, over there where I'm from, we're the niggas. I said, oh, really? No, you're not. You weren't knocked upside your head and drug all over the 4 corners of this globe, and gypsies ain't in America like that. They ain't in Cuba like that. We're everywhere, man. There's even blacks in Germany. So no, you're not the niggas. Stop. Cut it out. I don't care if you said it in the Biggie song. You're not cute. You know this guy's horrible. This guy's horrible. Everything about him is horrible. He thinks what he's doing is normal because he learned it from his dad. And his dad is a criminal. When he gets his ass whipped on October 9th, his dad won't be here to hold his hand in the emergency room because his dad can't come here because we don't harbor criminals. Well, we're America. We have our own criminals here. But he can't come here because he's a criminal. Do you know that? This is the guy that ESPN roots for? That's the guy? Do I have to go down his whole rap sheet? But anyway, the press conference, I wasn't there. Tay was there. So, you can tell us what you saw. He was there.
Yeah. Yo, Tay, was the idea of wearing headphones and not speaking, was that something that he did on impulse, or did you guys know that's what that's what he was going to do.
No, he said he didn't want to talk to the media. He been saying that. You know, he said it on other different people's shows. He said it's nothing. Says I don't have anything to say to them. They shouldn't have. Shouldn't have anything to say to me for the way they treated me. So you know, the way they treat me, why should I have to talk to them when they treat me as such way? Now, before we even went to the press conference, he did talk to some people, like I guess individual writers that could make it here from over in the UK, but it was short and sweet. You know, they asked some questions. He said, you know, same thing he always say, Tyson Fury's a cheater. And it's just one question, answer questions to them. He didn't have anything to say that to the people, you know, that, you know, what one thing about it, you know, like Deontay might be watching right now, you know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is he knows who's saying what, but if you ain't gonna give him a fair shake, what is to talk about? You said what you had to say already, and you're wrong. So continue telling your lies.
Can you give us a little bit of an inside look at when they finally did face off, right? And then Wilder took off his glasses. That was a pivotal moment, in my opinion. I feel like Fury got a little bit shooken up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So there was a lot of like yelling back and forth between the camps. I remember Tyson Fury's brother. I think it's his brother, right? The curly head looking dude.
The fat ass one.
He was,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one that do that TK.
I don't know
His
who
name
he was
is
talking
Titties.
to.
His name is Titties.
Yeah, his name is Titties. Go ahead.
Titties Fury.
I don't know who he was talking to, but you can kind of hear him, right? He's like, "You're a dosser. Y'all are dossers. And y'all are going down and blah, blah, blah." And I can hear people from Wilder's camp too kind of yelling back, but I don't know who it was or what was being said. Do you remember that moment?
Yeah,
I heard that.
That was me and Chris. It started with Isaac Lowe, you know, and I really want to fight him. I really want to beat the shit out of him. He started off, he said something about Dosa first, and then Bob Arum said, "Hey, we're not going to do that today." And so that's when I was like, 2-time. And I started walking towards him, and he went behind Fury and his brother. So when that happened, his brother had said something to Deontay, and then Chris, which is Deontay's assistant and personal bodyguard, Chris said, Don't worry about him. You worried about the wrong thing." And that's when he kept saying, "Oh, you're a doser too." He said, "I'm not even a boxer. We can go box outside." He said, "You're not even a boxer." So Chris said, "You're right. I'm not a boxer. I'm a stone cold killer." He said, "If you want to go outside, we can do that." But see, here's the thing. Chris is also a former cop too. So they didn't want to put themselves in that position. I mean, and then people that was with us, nobody knows what we had with us or you know, at that time. Nobody knows. So they could have been, you know, if that's what they wanted to do, it would have been a dangerous sight. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we know what the media perception already of us anyway. So we just kept it, you know, classy or whatever, things of that nature. But, you know, you let certain people on the internet tell it. We didn't say anything, which wasn't true at all. You know, and it went back and forth. Even in the back, it was a lot to say. Even when we walked past, them, it told the whole story. They didn't say not a word.
Hey Tay, when I was watching the stare down, and I seen y'all surround Deontay Wilder, I got chills, bro. And the way y'all moved around him, it was king surrounding a king. Right. And I seen y'all walk forward. And then when I heard y'all chant 2 times, I stood up in my chair. I was standing up, and my wife looked at me like I was crazy. But I said, "Baby, you don't understand the significance of this."
Yeah.
Like, they already whooped Tyson Fury's ass in court. They're whooping his ass right now in this press conference. And they're not even using words. All they have to do is just show their presence and show their strength. And Tay and them walked smooth straight to him. And they were scared. They were cowering behind Fury. Fury didn't know what the fuck to say. Wilder and his team, everybody, Chris, Tay, all of them, they all walked straight towards them, and it was chanting 2 times. And I watched them, and I was like, oh my God, this is powerful. And what's powerful about it is the fact that you have the whole world seemingly trying to stereotype Deontay Wilder when he's none of that. And you have Tyson Fury's camp, who's a bunch of fucking banshees, who's a bunch of fucking hyenas, who's just there just for attention, who's there just saying the stupidest shit they can possibly say. And you had Deontay Wilder, who didn't have to say a word, but said the most in that press conference. Think about that. He didn't have to say a word, but he spoke volumes in that press conference. That's why I say it's not what you say, it's what you do. It's your actions. Actions always going to tell the truth. Actions is no matter how you try to cover it up, no matter how you try to dance around it, no matter how many times you try to stand on your head and you try to stand in front of it, the truth always prevails. Like Drew always says, time reveals all truth. And October 9th, you're going to see exactly what the fuck I just said. Time will reveal all truth. And the truth of the matter is, Deontay Wilder is mentally, spiritually, and physically prepared to beat the dog shit out of Tyson Fury when Tyson Fury's been living a pipe dream off of the dirty ass fight he fought in that second fight that Kenny Bayless let him get away with. Let's not forget about that. Kenny Bayless sellout ass let him get away with the bullshit he was in there doing. So ain't no way no referee with any kind of common sense is going to count a knockdown when you rabbit punch the man. You rabbit punched him in the 3rd round. That was the first knockdown. Rabbit punch. And Wilder complained about it. Then you got weirdos on the internet. Oh, man, Tyson Fury knocked out Deontay Wilder. How? This man was on his feet. Throwing punches. How? Actions are going to sell everything. Look, Deontay Wilder is going to show the world. He's going to shut old media the fuck up. Just like old media right now have to go and quote 78 Sports TV, the head of the LDBC. He had to quote him now because y'all got to remember something. Y'all got to remember, my father's a preacher. I'm a PK. My dad always tells me about Psalms 23. And at the end of Psalms 23, he said, I'm going to prepare a table in front of all of my enemies. So that means all of the world who said that Deontay Wilder couldn't box, that he wasn't mentally prepared, that he couldn't do this, he can't do that. You sent all the coons and buck dancers out to tell Deontay Wilder, oh man, this is not what you need to do. You sent Stephen A. Coon out. Oh man, you know how this works. They sent all these people out to try to discourage this man from doing what he knows what he's good at doing. They try to do everything they can to try to turn this man around. But when you have a man of purpose, like Deontay Wilder, you have a man of purpose who stands on something, of substance.
Principle.
Can't break that. You can't bend that. And that's what the reason why when Tay Jones and them walked towards Tyson Fury's camp and I seen the fear in their face. There was fear. It was nothing but fear. They were scared to fucking death. And they had to regroup themselves because they didn't want to look like bitches on TV. They didn't want to look like bitches on that live stream. If you go back and watch that fight, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Because when Tay and them walked forward, because Tay came around the desk where Deontay Wilder was sitting. He came around the desk. They were walking towards the motherfucker. And they was chanting 2 times. And if your skin didn't get chill bumps, if your hair on the back of your neck didn't stand up, something wrong with you. If you didn't feel the power from them gathering in unity, because they were all one band, one sound, just like the Marine Corps. They were all in tune with one another. They were all on the same code with one another. Power. And they walked towards that camp and they chanted 2 times. And they looked at them with no fear in their eyes whatsoever, just like Wilder stared down for 5 minutes and 36 seconds, Tyson Fury, and looked into his soul and seen an empty shell of a man because he knows there's no way he can run. There's nowhere he can hide. There's nowhere he can duck. There's no way he can get out of this shit.
Because Tyson Fury knew there was an $80 million bounty on his head. He know he can't duck out of this fucking fight. And Deontay Wilder's going to collect this bounty. Believe you me, he's going to collect his due. For every last one of y'all in here second guessing and doubting Deontay Wilder, I want you to keep that same fucking energy because I will be back October 10th. And I'm going to collect my penance. Just so you know. And Tay Jones, oh, y'all need to go and apologize to that man. Y'all need to apologize for him. Y'all need to go for all those raggedy ass Instagram posts, all those Twitter posts, all those Facebook posts talking about Tay's a liar. This man ain't lied one time. That's why he's my brother. That's why I fucks with him. That's why he's my dude. That's why I would go to his fight. That's why I would pay to go sit ringside. That's why I would support him in anything he does because he's my fucking brother. And me and this man don't even know each other from a can of paint. And he is family to me. And he's more family than blood relative to me. And if he called me right now and said, Will, I need you, I'm coming. And he knows it. I'm fucking coming.
And Will, on that note, Tay Jones, with the knockout that he just performed, is the precursor to what's going to happen October 9th.
Yeah, that was just the appetizer.
Yep.
That was the appetizer.
Power begets power. Energy begats energy, man. What Tay Jones did in that fight is energy begatting energy. And you see who he surround himself with. When you surround yourself with people who encourage you to be better, who encourage you to strive to be better. Like, look, I'm going to give you an example, Divine. Stormy B-Man and Drew Titan, those are my brothers. Those are my big brothers. And I love them dearly. And if they call me and they say they needed me to do something, I'm there. But they keep me on my shit. They keep me on. Even after my old channel, 1,300 subscribers got banned. Keep me on my shit. And get your nose back. Get your nose off these fucking trolls. Because all they're here for is attention from men. Which is weird anyway. Get your shit. Get yourself together. And get back on your shit. And get back to doing what you know you're good at. And you're good at talking boxing. And you're good at doing what you do. When you have people around you that keep you humble, when you have people around you that keep you hungry, when you have people around you that keep you thirsting to be better, nothing but greatness comes after that. And because of the fact that I have brothers around me like 78 Sports TV, like Stormy B-Man, like Drew Titan, like BFTV, like 503 Lion, like Stay Ready, like all of these brothers, like Junior the Truth, like all of these brothers in the LDBC who keep me honest, I am only going to get better. I have no choice but to get better because I represent what they stand for. I represent what Kurt Sugar stands for. I represent what Blue Blood stands for. I represent what a condo stands for. I represent all of this shit. And because I stand behind that banner, I have to put forth my best effort to uphold what they have built. And it will be detrimental to me to do anything less than that, which is the reason why Deontay Wilder is going to go in that ring and he's going to demolish Tyson Fury. And not only that is he going to kill Tyson Fury and all of the hype behind it. He's going to destroy old media for what they really are. The racist, fucking dumbass sycophants who chase Tyson Fury like he's the great white hope. Because they would love nothing more but the shame of black man in America. That's what they love to do. This melanated skin has been on my flesh for 42 years, almost 43 years. I know very damn well. I was discriminated against in the military. So I know far well. I know good and fucking well where this shit comes from. I know this shit is buried deep in racism. We just seen fucking what happened to Mike Fox. We seen what happened to Conceição. We seen what happened.
Till this day.
It's till this fucking day. That's why I stand behind Wilder. That's why I'll be a Wilder fan whether he wins, whether he loses. I don't give a fuck. I will still be a fan of Wilder because of the fact. You can call me a fanboy. I don't give a fuck. If you call me a fanboy, I can really give a fuck because you don't know me. You don't pay no bills in my house. You don't put no money in my pocket. I could give less of a fuck about what you think about me than anybody on this planet because you don't pay no dividends over here. I pay this shit. I bust my ass to make sure my family's straight. I make sure that I get what I need. I pay for this camera, this microphone, this audio interface, this computer, that computer, this screen right here, and everything I got in my house. I paid for it. You didn't pay a fucking dime here. I don't give a fuck about your opinion. This shit is deeper than fucking boxing. The LDBC is bigger than boxing. And y'all are going to soon understand that. They're going to understand that, Divine. They are, because they don't see it right now. They think we're delusional. They think we're fanboys. That's what they think. But they don't see what we do.
And
name another boxing community on YouTube or anywhere that does what the LDBC does. Name them where they go to fights and buy tickets to fights and go and support their fighters and go and set up in the stands and do what they need to do to make sure the fighters know that we got their back 110%. Who go out and advocate for what's right and what's wrong in boxing. Who else does that shit?
I was around during the creation of LDBC when it was first created. And a lot of people would come over and say, Divine, why do you associate with the LDBC? I said, why are you worried about them? Why are you worried about what they're doing over there? Especially if you're a content creator. If you do your thing. I never understood it. In the beginning of the LDBC days, and I know that 78 went on Stormy B in the Eye of the Storm and spoke about this, where he said in the beginning it was about debates. They would bring people on to debate about fighters or whatever have you, and then people started taking it personal and getting upset. So then 70 said, okay, I'm just going to make this a community. No more debates. People are taking it personal. And then now the LDBC has grown into what it is today. I do want to real quick. I know, Drew, I think you wanted to speak, but I do want to say something real quick. Curtis Anderson is in the chat. Curtis, you are in our thoughts. I hope that you're doing well. Thank you for taking the time to drop by tonight and be a part of the conversation. Also, William, I try to go back and find your super chat, brother. I couldn't find it. I apologize. Just know that I do appreciate the time and effort of dropping the super chat. The chat's been going crazy tonight, obviously, with the panel that we got going tonight, and I'm trying to operate this solo. So if I miss it, I apologize. But yeah, go ahead, Drew, and I'm gonna go on for about another 10 minutes or so, because I got to roll out. So go ahead, Drew, and go ahead and say whatever you needed to say.
It's confession time. I'm not Drew Titan. I am the doctor that diagnosed Tyson Fury with COVID. I am Dr. Butterscotch Jimbrowski III. And he came to see me, and he sneezed, and that's COVID. The Delta strain at that. So, yeah. It was imperative that he not fight on January 24th. January 24th. Yeah.
Thank you, doctor, for the update. It's sad to hear that Tyson has got COVID. I'm sure that he's going through some tough times.
It's real bad, but I got this nice car sent to my house. It was really nice. And thank you, Tyson. I appreciate you. He's gonna see me again before October, so let's say that COVID works out.
Check his lungs out.
Yeah, I'm gonna check his lungs, and I'm gonna check my bank account to see what he does for me.
We got Big Dog Willie in the super chat, man. He says Sugar Hill is an opportunist. He is using Fury as a stepping stone, using his uncle's name for clout. Sugar never had talent to make a Hearns Lewis a champ. Very interesting super chat there by Big Dog, and I see Stormy smiling at that super chat. You want to weigh in on that, Stormy?
No, I was smiling about Drew's.
Oh, okay.
His revelation there.
About the whole mask thing, y'all noticed, he got COVID, and then a couple days later he goes out in town shirtless, no mask, et cetera, et cetera. And then all of a sudden, when he goes on BT Sports to do an interview, he's wearing a mask the whole time. Nobody else is wearing masks except for him. Did y'all check that? He's pulling the mask up and down and looks very uncomfortable. But other than that, he's never wore a mask before. Before and after COVID, never wore a mask. But he did during that BT Sports.
My COVID doctor's notes cost $2 million. Plus an exotic car. I got you.
That whole thing that you just described about Fury with the mask and no mask and everything, it reminds me of this guy here in Chicago. He's a homeless dude, but he stands at this one intersection. He's been doing this for a long time. He stands at this one intersection. He's got his little sign that he holds out. He says, please give money, for food or whatever. Now, he limps, right? He'll limp with the left leg. And then later on, you see him, he's limping with the right leg. It's like, it's all a scam. Because the dude comes out every day. Like I go to work every day. He's there every day, but he's not there at nighttime. And the thing about it is, people stop, they give him money. But like I say, on Monday in the morning, you see him, he's limping with the left leg. Later on that afternoon, if you pass by, he's still out there, it's the right leg. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, so I consider Fury like that homeless guy, and hopefully he'll end up homeless like that guy after they take everything they're going to take from him after October 9th.
Dead man walking.
Absolutely. On that note, too, Akando Sami Hassan says, nowhere to run, Judgment Day, October 9th.
Yep.
It's Judgment Day, and the clock is ticking.
Why are we the
TikTok.
only ones looking forward to this fight and happy about it, and everyone else is sad? You notice that?
Yeah. I can't wait.
They're mad that they lost the court case. I mean, seriously, if this is somebody you won the first time and beat so easy the second time, you're in the red with Bob Arum. You got to get him his money back. And plus, this is an easy payday. And if you beat D the third time, allegedly, you can rock and roll over to the winner of AJ and Usyk. This is money on top of money. Why are you trying to avoid this? Why isn't anybody how about this? How many times did ESPN mention arbitration?
We're still waiting for them to mention it.
Yep.
They mentioned it when he lost.
They mentioned it when
he lost. That's it. And then they blamed D for ruining Undisputed. Isn't that strange? Unbelievable.
Yep. And I pointed that out many times. You got ESPN. The thing is like you got Undisputed, First Take, all these big networks, right? And for the most part, correct me if I'm wrong, but they've always been praising Tyson Fury. They praise Tyson Fury for winning the second fight. So they feel like there's nothing to talk about other than, they're going to fight again, and Tyson Fury won convincingly, and so there's not much to talk about. That's the general sentiment that I get from the big networks. But what will they be saying? Will they say and speak the truth and give Wilder his credit on October 10th, the day after the fight? That's what I want to know.
I got a better question. Y'all remember the Addams Family?
Yep.
Don't Fury look like Lurch with a baldy? Nasty ass. You rang, sir. Nasty ass. Look, man.
He's built like a mannequin that had one of the legs put on backwards.
Tay Jones he's processing that.
Yo, he looks like a talking egg, motherfucker. Yo,
hey,
yo,
Drew,
he built like that shit from the Herculoids. that stretchy shit. Stormy, you gotta know the Herculoids. Remember that shit? Gleep and Gloob, whatever the fuck that's what Tyson Fury is. Nasty ass.
And earlier when you said his leg was like a K, the letter K, listen, man, that was on point right there. That was on point.
He's disgusting. He's disgusting. You know what?
So the only thing that I really care about is I don't really care about it, but I'm curious to see. I'll put it that way, because to be honest with you, I don't care. Rather, media comes out and gives Wilder his credit, because we have what we have. We have our family, and that's what matters the most to Deontay. You know, winning this not for only himself, but for all of his fans and supporters, people that have had his back since day one. You know what I mean? And I think that's what matters the most. But I am curious to see if they will, in fact, say, wow, Wilder did come in there and prove everybody wrong. We'll stand by and see if they do that. We're not going to hold our breath, obviously. And we'll be here. I know a lot of people. I know Drew said you're going to the fight, and you'll be a part of it. I'm looking forward to your videos while you're there doing your thing. I know Tay's going to be there. And so that's what really matters. And there's going to be, for all you Fury fans out there, any Fury fans peeking through the blinds, as Stormy likes to say, and you plan on going to the fight, and you plan on bringing your crew, be ready. Be ready, because there's a crew coming for Deontay Wilder. You best believe, right? You best believe that. So be ready. One more super chat from Marcus Walls, man. He says 10-10, my birthday. Hell of a gift if Wilder gets him on his back. What a birthday gift that will be for Marcus Walls, man. I appreciate the super chat. And look, Deanna says she'll be there.
Oh, so you going? You gotta hit us up, man. We gonna be deep. You gotta hit us up. Hit me on the ground.
Yeah,
Deanna,
for sure.
Hit me on the ground.
Yeah, so make sure, Deanna, that you hit up Drew, man. He's gonna be out there. The crew needs to link up. Rather during the fight, after the fight, whatever the case is. Y'all need to link up, man. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. I'm overseas, and a lot of restrictions and craziness going out there right now, man. I don't know if I'm going to be able to deal with it. But, I'm going to be showing love as much as I can right here. And you guys already know what time it is, man. Showing all the love and respect for Deontay on his journey to become two-time heavyweight champion of the world, man. I got a lot of respect and love to Tay Jones, man. Tay, first time officially meeting you in person. I've been watching in the backdrop with Drew. Drew obviously mentions you a lot. Yes, Stormy mentions you a lot. And they've been telling me that you're a real dude. And I just want you to know that the fight that you had, man, I paid for that. And I watched the whole card, Really? And I wanted to show my support for it. And it was interesting, man, because they had a lot of like amateur fights where they're having like cops fighting military guys, and they had a lot of stuff going on, man. And it was fun. It was fun, man. I liked that card, and it was funny because I was actually live watching it at one point, waiting for you to fight. And a lot of my members, while I was going live, they're saying, "Hey, Divine, check Tay. Is he fighting yet?" And so I'm always periodically checking. And then all of a sudden, I heard them announce your name.
Right.
And I made a mental note to go check. And you got the dude out so quickly that I didn't see it. So I had to go back. And they were doing the replays and stuff. And I showed all the people, man, and we were cheering for you. We were so happy for you for doing that, man. And
I appreciate that, man. I really do, man.
And like I said, this is something to bring you on here so you can promote yourself, your brand, and let the people know who you are and what you represent, and extra exposure, because I'm sure there's people that are subscribed to my channel that don't know you yet. You know what I mean? And now they know you.
Yes, sir.
You're a man of integrity. You're a man of true spirit, and you're a boxer. And so you speak from that perspective. You offer something that not a lot of people can do, and that is say, hey, I'm coming from a boxing perspective here. And so I just wanted to make sure that you understand that we got a lot of love for you, and obviously the camp that you're working with Deontay and whatnot. And thank you for joining. I know your Instagram is probably blowing up the last couple of days.
Man, that's crazy.
So you didn't have to join tonight, man, and I appreciate you squeezing some time out of your night to be a part of this panel. And we just got lucky. We got Will jumped in here, Drew Titan jumped in here, Stormy jumped in here, and that was completely on a whim. They
Right.
were a part of it, and they wanted to jump in, man. So it turned out very, 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 very good, man. And I'm guessing that you still might have some tickets. Anybody out there that wants to go to the fight,
Yeah, I
make sure
do.
you
I got
guys hit up
tickets.
Tay.
Yeah, I
let
got
the people know how they can find you, Tay.
man. I got my Twitter. The easiest way might be Twitter, because I see everything. I don't really be on Instagram like that. I really despise being on Instagram. But definitely on my Twitter, I see everything because I'm always up on Twitter. You can reach me on there, and we can discuss the tickets and things of that nature. But I try my best to respond to everybody. Try my best.
Yeah. I mean, I was a little bit like, man, is he gonna reply? Is he gonna reply? But you replied, man, and I really do appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
And
for sure. No, I
and
like I said, a lot of stuff I see. So majority of the time, my wife had to tell me like, "Hey, somebody DM'd you or this and third when it comes to Instagram," because she knows I'm never looking at it, so she might check it before I will. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
But other than that, yeah, definitely, man. I definitely appreciate being on here. That it's like I say, it's funny because people just think that when you're around certain people, you have to be, I guess, quote unquote stuck up or whatever. But that's not me at all. I'm definitely down to earth. I love to talk, love to chill. I can definitely be a goofball. Um, but that's just me. I just like I say, I'm a man of integrity. And I just like to speak my truth on whatever it is that I know. Whether it's dealing with Deontay, whether it's dealing with myself or other fighters. Because there is things that I hear all the time, and sometimes I just don't open my mouth to say anything, even though I may have heard already, and I might have some type of intel or detail on different situations.
Yeah, and on that note, man, perhaps we can get maybe Malik or something like that on here another time, man. I know the
For
one that
sure.
he did with Drew was fire.
For sure.
And I appreciate Drew for bringing me on that one as well.
No.
And man, I got so much respect for Malik. Like he's such a sound individual, man, and I think it's one of the best moves that Deontay's made in his career is
For
bringing
sure.
Malik in and making that change. Because they have that not only that friendship, but they have that connection. And look at all of the great fighters, man, like Muhammad Ali, the relationship he had with Angelo Dundee.
Right.
It's just an amazing thing to see, and I think it's underestimated by all the naysayers. Obviously, they think it's a joke, but they're gonna find out, man.
Right.
But yeah, but maybe we can try to get Malik up in here one more time as we creep a little bit closer to this fight.
Yeah.
And yeah, so anybody with some final thoughts before we head out?
Yeah,
I'll whip it around.
Go ahead, Drew.
I saw someone they wanted to know I think that was gaming. What's the brother's name? I'm sorry, Platform Gaming.
Plat Boy, yeah.
Plat Boy, yeah. Shout out to him. He say final thoughts on what round fight's gonna end. Between 1 and 3, that's what I'm picking. Knockout, brutal knockout. I mean, Fury's gonna be looking for an out. He's gonna cry about getting hit low. He's gonna come in with his trunks an inch below his nipples. They're going to be very high. He's going to complain about low blows. He's going to be pissing blood. But I think it's going to be a disgusting knockout between 1 and 3. That's my pick. I'll get more into detail about how I think it's going to go as we get closer to the fight. But between 1 and 3, it's a wrap for him.
Firestorm.
Yeah, I want to say one more time about Tay and that knockout, man. That was like something of Ray Robinson and Rocky Graciano, man. It reminded me of that. It's on my Three Wise Men intro when it shows Sugar Ray hitting that guy and his mouthpiece go flying up in the air like that. I hope somebody had a baseball mitt and caught it something like that. It was awesome. And hey, I still got to get you on In the Eye of the Storm. We're going to work that out. I know it's been real busy because you had your fight coming up and everything.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
we'll maybe look forward to it after the 9th, because we still got a lot of work to do going up to the 9th, building up.
Yes, sir. For
And
sure.
Divine, thanks for having me on again tonight. I always like working and collaborating with you. You're a great, brilliant boxing mind out here doing what you do on the airwaves. And I know I came out a little bit earlier and said some things, but I think they needed to be said and the message needed to be driven home. We have purpose here, and our purpose is in solidarity and being one unit. I don't want people to think that they can go to one platform or another and think that they can finagle their way in and cause dissension or chaos or whatever, because that's not going to, especially if I'm going to be around, because that's not what I'm about. You know what I mean? All one has to do is come to my channel and see the kind of content that I put out there. You can see that there's no foolishness over there with what I do. But I have respect for everybody out here that does what they do, which is why I like to show that support. So that being said, thanks again for having me on. Look forward to the next time. And much respect to everybody that's out here on the panel, man. Everybody have a great one, and I look forward, like I said, to working with everybody again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely get in that eye of the storm, man, because Tay has an amazing story to tell, and that's a perfect platform for you to just tell your story and let the people know who you are. You know what I mean, and what you're
Yes, sir.
about.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it looks like I missed over a few little super chats. Let me get those in real quick, and I'll let Will jump in here for the final thoughts. Akondo went on and said, Fury looked like an old jar of mayonnaise spilled on aisle 5. We got clean up aisle 5, please. Clean up aisle 5.
Oh man.
And I think this is the one that you saw, Drew, that I
Yeah,
missed.
yeah,
What's
yeah,
the channel's
yeah.
round predictions? Yeah, Plat Boy. Big shout out to Plat Boy, man. If you guys don't know, Plat Boy is literally the original of everything of this new channel, Divine Sense Boxing, man. He was the first official member. He was the first Patreon, and he's one of the first ones to show love in the super chat. So big shout out to Plat Boy, man. I know you don't always make it on here because Plat Boy has one of those weird schedules. He's one of those dudes that work like 2, 3 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
And so he does one of those type shifts, man. So I appreciate you more than you know, Plat Boy. Yeah, so I think I got all the super chats. I may have missed a few. If I've missed any of your super chats, man, I apologize. This is probably one of the biggest panels I've had since I've went live. So it's been a bit tough to try to conversate and get all these chats in here. Next time I might need a moderator to run it for me. So yeah, Trill Will, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here, man. I'm on the phone with the wifey.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, thank you for having me on, man. It's my first time on here with you, man. And I appreciate you giving me an opportunity to speak on your panel, man. And it's always a blessing to be on the panel with my brothers, Tay, Drew, Stormy. You know how the fam rock. But if you want to look for me, I'm here on YouTube. I am Trill Will. As you know, I'm rebuilding my channel, rebranding myself. I'm on Instagram as I am Ill Will, and on Twitter as I am Ill Will. So tomorrow I got a show 1:00 p.m. I'm probably gonna come on live early tomorrow because I got to take my daughter to work at 2. So I'll probably come on at 12:30. But I do Soul Man Sundays on here on YouTube. It's a dope show. Pretty much talk about boxing events that happen over the weekend or kind of social issues or whatnot. But yet again, Divine, thank you for letting me be able to share my expertise on your channel. And yet again, I do apologize for blowing up on the troll a while ago. My bad. Sorry. But yeah, y'all know where I'm at. Y'all know that. Go and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get back up to 1,300. Where I was.
Yes, sir.
God dang me.
Yes, sir.
Shit.
Yeah, and
but thanks, man.
And yeah, man, for sure. And look, like, final little thought on that, man, is like I mentioned earlier, this is how family conducts themselves. You know what I mean? And it could have got ugly if I didn't have my family backing me up. And I appreciate you guys. I appreciate Drew jumping in here. Drew actually hit me up on IG. I didn't catch it. He's like, yo, you got to get this guy, man. So yeah, man. I sorry I missed it. And look, like I understand. Like sometimes I flip the script too, and my patience, I mean, I would say is pretty decent, but I got my triggers. And obviously this dude, I don't even know his name now. I forgot it already. That's how irrelevant he is, obviously. But obviously he's that trigger. So look, I appreciate you guys getting my back and helping me get through this big panel and spotting.
You missed one super chat from Christopher.
Okay, cool. And also, Stormy, somebody said that you missed your prediction. They want the prediction from the panel for the fight. So Drew said less than 3. Stormy, what do you got?
That's obvious. Somebody that ain't subscribed to my channel will watch my content, man.
True.
Yeah, I'm not answering that, man. It's like you know what? I'm not going out on foolishness, man. I'm not going out on foolishness. Tell that dude F+, get to the back of the class. That's
Stormy ain't playing no games. Stormy ain't playing no games. Hey, Christopher, I don't know if this is the super chat you were referring to. He says, I don't give a F either. I'm not sure what you're referring to. That must have been something earlier that was said.
No, you saw he put that up when Will was breaking it down. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Will, you want to give out a prediction for all the people in there that want to hear it, man? Stormy said what he needed to say.
I'm with Stormy on that, G. I'm with Stormy. Just say that's that look, bro. That's all I need to know. That's it.
Hey, I'll follow it up with this. Let me quote Deontay when he says, "What's understood don't need no explanation." Huh?
There it is.
I don't know when it's gonna come, but it's gonna come. So that's pretty much it. And on that note, man, I also just recently created an official Divine Sense Boxing IG page. And on that note, hey, Drew, I actually added you on that. You probably haven't seen it yet. And that's how I'm going to probably conduct myself going forward, because people were finding me. They were finding my personal page, and it got a little bit nasty. You guys know how that goes.
Oh, yeah.
So I created an official page. Guys, go find me. It's easy. Divine Sense Boxing. Hit me up on IG, give me a follow. And it's good, too, because if you're not able to see my notifications on YouTube anytime I go live, I'm going to post it on IG as well. So that's another outlet for you guys to double check and never miss a show or an upload. So go check me out on IG, man. And look, amazing panel today, amazing show. We had some brilliant minds up here, man, and I can't be more ecstatic at this point. And, just to close it out, hopefully we can get these wonderful individuals back on the panel again soon. Rather my channel. Maybe we go to Tay's channel next time and show Tay some love and support over there on Tay's channel, and that'll be super fun. Go make sure you guys go find Stormy B. If you don't know him, subscribe to him. My man Drew Titan. If you guys don't know him, go subscribe. And of course, we got Tay Jones, man, a fighter out here doing a lot of work. And go make sure you go hit up his channel. And then, of course, we got Trill Will. As he said, he's trying to get back to where he was before his channel was taken down. Make sure you go give him a sub as well. And if you're new to my channel, of course, give me a sub as well. Smash that like button before you guys leave. And again, I appreciate you guys. And we will be back with another one. Here comes the outro. And gentlemen, if you want to stick by a little bit before we all head out, you can do so. I'm going to play this outro.